Welcome to Game Changer Weekly. John, how are you doing this evening?
Dude, I'm doing great tonight. We've got someone special with us. We've been looking forward to talking to him for a while. Bobby Flacco, how you doing tonight, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I'm gonna be doing this all
Hey,
night. All night, I'm gonna
hey,
be doing that.
hey. What's up, guys? I'm super excited to be here, man. Thank y'all for having me on this shit. Super stoked.
Hell
Thank you
yeah.
for coming on, man. Of course.
Look
John
at this.
here has usually has a nice long intro for our guests, and I was reading through this one, and John, I will let you. I don't know if sorry, I cut you off there. I don't know if you're hopping right into the
I was just
intro.
gonna say people are slowly starting to come in already. So Clown, nice to see you. Great one. Always nice to see you. Yeah, he said cold open. We fucking
Oh,
Bobby's here. We're going cold open, baby.
I forgot the 30-second video before ours. That's what it was.
That's okay. We're already approaching 50 people. Yeah, so people are already jumping in here. This is good stuff. Um, yeah,
50
you know
people's
what?
crazy.
What's that, buddy?
50 people's crazy.
Okay, man. Oh yeah, it's climbing. Yeah, people are starting to come in now. That's the one thing that's really nice about when we're doing this shit, that there's actually people that are sitting at 8 o'clock going, all right, let's get this shit going. And um it's what's a good word for it, Brent? Like, it's humbling.
Oh yeah, very
Fucking
humbling. Even like when we talked about it on the other podcasts about our experiences, it's even crazy to get Bobby Flacco on our screen and be able to ask him about all his cool travel questions, the time in GCW. Like, it's very humbling, and yeah, fans show up week in, week out, no matter what the
fuck
content is.
yeah.
So it is always awesome to see that. Thank you all, everyone.
Fuck yeah. And Tuesday night, a work night at 11 p.m. And
That's
sometimes we're
huge.
going till 2, 3 in the morning, dude. So,
Not
you
tonight,
just
though.
never
Not
know.
tonight. Calm down,
Not tonight.
everybody. Not tonight. We got Bobby's got a curfew, so we won't keep his time going too long.
All right. So I'll go ahead and give Bobby the intro here. I always love to introduce whoever's coming on. This always gives everyone just a minute or two to breathe. And this also lets everyone who's on, the podcast night know a little bit more about who our guest is. So tonight we have Bobby Flacco, 7 years in ring experience, wrestling out of Noonan, Georgia. Trained by A.R. Fox at the WWA 4 Wrestling School, he's a two-time ACW Cruiserweight champion. The first run was 115 days, and his second run was a little over a year at 386 days. That's a combined total of 501 days as their ACW champion. Bobby's gained a strong reputation in the Southeast United States independent wrestling scene for his high-flying and fast-paced style. He has a strong reputation for being the underdog in most situations, given his resilience and fighting spirit. Those in-ring intangibles turned Lauderdale's eyes in his direction. GCW fans first saw Bobby on March 12, 2022 on GCW's Astronaut. This was at Center Stage in Atlanta, Georgia. He was in a tag team match with Cavern Canyon versus Ash Bennett and Rico Gonzalez. Cavern is Bobby's partner in a group called the Red Mexicans, and Bobby was also a former tag team partner with Brogan Finley as Airbnb. After 2 regional matches with GCW, Lauderdale decided to take Bobby's Tilt-A-Whirl stunner all over the world and eventually international. From Jersey to California to Tijuana, he's been everywhere with us. His game-changer workload went from 6 matches in 2022 to 13 in 2023 to 15 matches so far in 2024. He's participated in 8 tournaments in his career, becoming a semifinalist or a finalist in 5 of them. A longtime listener and supporter of GCW Plant Podcast and now Game Changer Weekly, he's one of the coolest and most down-to-earth people someone could meet. He's a world traveler with a life full of unique experiences that can be seen on YouTube and on his Patreon channel, I believe. Listeners, this is Bobby Flacco. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Hey, I'm great. That shit was incredible, man. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna go back and listen to that if I'm ever feeling down on myself. That's cool. Hell yeah.
Dude, I had to give you props on the Red Mexicans.
Dude,
Yes,
for sure. I don't claim to be a full-blown Mexican in my gimmick anymore, so I kind of moved away from that. But bring it back.
Fuck yeah. Straight up gringo, man. You, me, huh?
Yeah, for sure. When
Yeah.
when I first started, it was still kind of like a time of like a little bit more old school. So it's like I'm wrestling in Alabama and I'm a new kid, so I'm like, I'll just be Mexican and get a little extra heat for that.
Right.
Just run that gimmick.
It worked, right?
But yeah, that was, dude, thank you so much. And it really puts into perspective how fortunate I am and some of the things that I've done. And yeah, that's cool. Thanks, man.
You're still getting started. You're just now getting that feet on the ground after what, 2.5 years? And I don't think fans really know. He's been with us for 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking 20 some, almost 30 matches. I think my count had on you here with us.
Yeah, it's cool. And the way it grew too. Like I had that tag match at Astronaut was like a Fox thing, like a Fox student thing. And there's like a little spot where basically we pretend to have a match, but Janela fucks us up. And then to see how it grows from there to there. And like I've had more matches this year than I had. I think if the math is right, like the whole other, year and a half before. So things are moving in the good direction, like for sure. I'm super happy with the way it goes, and the GCW works out with the way places I want to travel a lot of the time. So I'm super happy with my position and where I'm at in the company and where I'm at and just everything, man. I'm stoked. Just happy to be talking to y'all.
Fuck yeah. Here we go already. Reed Harris is in here. Hey, B. Hey, John. Hello, Bobby. All right. Reed also. Bobby, the king of action. You know what? I didn't even mention action. And that's kind of a sad thing that I didn't mention action because that's really where you fucking put it down. Reed Harris just said turn Bobby up. I turned Bobby up 25%. Reed, if you can't hear, let me know a little more and I'll help you out there, brother. All right, what do we got here? Bobby came in on that motorbike at the GCW show at Center Stage. Yep, great showing for sure. Look at
honestly,
a lot of love.
Every time I think of Center Stage or even Bobby Flacco, I put Bobby Flacco at Center Stage with Bobby Flacco, and like all those people, like remember the Teriyaki and all those groups like that would have the crazy scrambles and just show out and steal the show. All the Center Stage events, like those matches always stick out to me, and yeah, it's kind of crazy seeing you go from the motorbike at Center Stage to now traveling all over the world, and it's been awesome to see you traveling the world with GCW.
Dude, fuck yeah. I'll try to be closer to the mic and shit too. Yeah, fucking the Center Stage thing was so cool. That scramble is one of my favorite matches to this date for sure. The first one with Brogan and Terry. Yeah, it was so much fun and really like kind of solidified me to a different level from where I was back then. For sure. It was so much fun. I'll be back with the dirt bike for sure to Center Stage in December.
Nice.
I want to hear you rev that motherfucker up and then your music hits. You know what I mean? Like let people know you're in the fucking building.
Kind of like the old Taker, yeah. The old Taker just sitting there revving it and then dead man walking. Yeah.
It's theater, baby. Cool. You should give it to him.
That's interesting because I've always wondered if I should wait or if I should just when my opponent's music goes off or whatever, just fucking like turn it on, crank it up and go,
motherfucker. No, because when they get to know you, what's going to happen, Bobby, is they're going to associate that sound with you.
Yeah.
This is actually really smart. And I think it's my opinion. I'd love to see that in LA where all of a sudden I just hear, and like you crank that motherfucker, wow, a couple times. And then the music hits.
Be fire. Or even like a sound effect because I can't always bring the dirt bike. But and then I wouldn't have to do the fucking timing thing. I could just like one of them.
What if that bitch don't fire?
Hell yeah.
It's possible. Let's see here. I'm gonna get the easy questions out of the way, Bobby. Do you have any good memories of watching wrestling as a kid? Who were you watching and favorite wrestlers?
My first memory is it's not a lot, but it's like the WCW video game. Like that's the first thing I remember.
Revenge or like Nitro?
I feel like the Versus one. Wasn't it like a Versus one?
Versus World Tour, yeah. That was before Revenge.
And
was that N64?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my friend had it.
Fuck yeah.
My friend had it on this N64, and then it was like, my mom didn't have cable, so I would watch the highlights on WWE.com. And that kind of got me more into it because at first I didn't want to I wasn't always crazy about sitting down and watching the whole match. So I would go on WWE.com and do I always remember Ray versus JBL was like the popular feud. And I got more into it then. And then when I was at my dad's house, my dad watched Raw. So we would watch Monday Night Raw and shit like that when I was growing up. So
What
and I
what years? What years is that for you,
uh
Bob?
what years?
Yeah, what years? I'm just trying to think. JBL, that was
6, 7,
yeah.
about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that type of shit. Yeah, that was when I was really watching it the most because I graduated in 11. So yeah, the video games like SmackDown versus Raw, like that type of shit. That's what I was really into, influenced by.
Are any of those inspirations included in your character today?
Um,
Am I giving you an idea to start including some of those guys?
I mean, I'd say yeah, you know, like it's the basic wrestling stuff. It's more just like influences to be a wrestler or maybe like wrestling moves, you know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah.
A lot of, my character's always really evolving, and there's a lot of stuff that's in it, for sure. Um yeah, but as especially definitely in the ring, like for sure that type of stuff. I like those matches, I like those formats, I like that kind of era for sure. As far as yeah, the more I think about it, yeah, like as far as the product I'm trying to present, like even the experience,
Yeah. So then I'm going to ask you, you were trained by AR Fox. Can you give us a little bit of the impact of AR Fox in your career? And personally, if you want to, I don't want to go too crazy for you here. Let's see.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I love AR Fox, man. I feel like he was one of the, at least where I'm at, he was one of the first trainers that never really like held back. He won't tell you more than you need to know, but like he never like, there was no bullshit with him. He like really wanted everybody to like be the best and to be around. It was just a really high standard of stuff. Like it was very, very, he's just super smart, man. And he was able to get the super duper basics ingrained into all of us. And I don't know, man. Fox is just badass, dude. He's a humble dude. He's a humble leader. He don't want nothing but good for the school and like for the kids that he's there. It's fucking clearly his passion. His story is crazy. What he's like all been through and what he's got going on. And yeah, I just can't thank Fox enough. If you ever been in a room with people and seen the way they walk up to him, he's like a legend in wrestling, and you wouldn't tell by hanging out with him for a couple of years, until you go out and go to shows with him and see, he's just that humble of a guy. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about him. We're super duper close. I was like one of the first, that first like little like class of his, like when he actually took over the WWA for. I never really met whoever ran it before. So, and he's always growing, and like I like to go back to the school and like listen to his like first day speech, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? Like, because it's always getting better and always changing, just like the way wrestling evolves, or even just him learning more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I could go on for days about Fox.
I had to mention it.
Yeah, I'm about to say I got some questions too, because I feel like I was late to this whole AR Fox train. Like seeing what he's doing now is just incredible. But now, like seeing he runs the school and like the talent, then the students that came out of his school, like I found myself enjoying all of those styles of wrestling and all those wrestlers. What's been like the most important thing that he's like ingrained in you or taught you during your time there?
Just to be you, man. Uh, work your ass off and do your thing, but to just like be you. He's trained any type of like person, you know, from me to Austin Theory to Alex Kane to fucking Leon Ruff to Teriyaki to Mr. Danger. You know what I mean? Ariel Von Goes from that circle. It's just he can see who he just knows how to help people play to their strengths, but he's just real big on like being a strong character and like being you, and like, you know, he kind of runs an insane asylum in a way. Like, I mean, there's there's like a discipline, but also like a freedom, you know.
Mhm.
Um, it's just an interesting environment that really allows people to thrive, you know. But at the same time, we got a hard culture. Like, you know, there's no rocks in the garden, but it is a bit of a chaotic garden. You know what I mean?
Good shit. Wow. Yeah, I knew you had a background with aerial, and you could really see it in the ring. What was it? The last match you had at GCW?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking fantastic. Actually, those last 3 matches you had, I can't remember the second one, but I know the one with Alec Price, you guys fucking took off in that
Rico
one
or
too.
Jeffrey John.
Ah, that's it.
Jeffrey John.
I
That was
like
the one
Jeffrey,
that
man. I got to get him on here sometime too, because he is nice as hell. Fellow Ohio State Buckeye. I don't know if he's a fan or not, honestly, but he's an Ohio State guy. So big
He's a
love to
travel guy
Jeffrey.
too.
What's that?
He's a travel guy too. He's been in hostels and shit.
Oh, no kidding. He gonna mess up that pretty face out in hostels. Look at that. That guy.
I mean, in like France and shit. You know, it ain't like.
Oh yeah, he ain't going down to Peru or anything like that.
Not yet.
You know what? Bobby's in here real quick. He said, if I recall, Bobby was a member of AR's stable for a second. He put Bobby, Adrian, and Leon. Does that sound correct, Bobby?
I will not. I was part of their group for sure. There was like I wasn't ready to be working at that point at that level, you know what I mean? But I would come out
Gotcha.
to them and manage and shit like that, and I eventually had matches that evolve and shit like that. But I will give full credit to the actual group, the Skulk, which was Fox, Leon, Adrian Alandis, and Liam Gray. Uh, and yeah, I'll be with them in most of the matches, especially towards the end of Evolve and stuff like that. And yeah, being with them and being able to just like leech off all the information and like, you know, just be around all those really really good wrestlers was so huge in my development. So yeah, Skulk Gang forever for sure.
Oh hell yeah! And
Just
you know
a
what? I'm a
Skulk.
big fan of tag teams and stables when it comes to students and trainees also, because that gives them a chance to really go out there and get a feel, learn from the crowd a little bit and how to react and where to react. And then you've got fellow students, or at least people that you can look up to, see how they work and how they react. And yeah, they have that out in Vegas where there's like a student show once every 2 months, I think it is. And you know what I mean? Like, it's really cool to see them do their thing, and you just go out there and you just support them as much as possible. So yeah, I've always been a big fan of putting students in groups and then sending them out there together.
I'm the same way. I
All
kind of like
right.
watching like wrestlers grow up as a tag team and then like kind of flourish on their own as singles, but they get that experience as tag team like that. It's kind of like a backup quarterback in football. Like you gotta give them time to see what's going on before you just throw them out there to the wolves.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. I prefer seeing the tag team, like young tag teams, kind of grow up together.
So a lot of people ask about your entrance song. How did you end up picking that song?
Oh dude, it's just the fucking perfect exact vibe I wanted. You know, the exact like, you know, I definitely wanted it to be a Spanish song because I mean I've been learning Spanish since I was 14. 31. I definitely wanted it to be a Spanish song. When I first started learning Spanish and when I first started wrestling, I would use more like reggaeton, like Bad Bunny type shit, like like
Wow.
ass shaking shit. But when you become 28, 29, 30, 31 years old, that's not what I'm into anymore. You know what I mean? So, but there's like a little bit of like that. I love that music. That cumbia music is like kitchen cleaning music. It was like the type of shit that people would play in the kitchen when it's time to fucking like get it done and get the fuck out of here. It's like midnight. We gotta like scrape the floors and all this bullshit that the people be doing in the kitchen. I would always hear it from the kitchen working as like a waiter at like a Mexican restaurant in that cumbia
Oh yeah.
music. And it just, you know, it just has all the elements. If you're a wrestler, you know, you're always thinking about your fucking entrance music. So
Yeah.
there's one song that's a little bit would have been better, I think, but I think it was a little bit too popular for me. You know, I'm not a fan of like the cheap pop songs, you know.
Yeah.
But that was a stupid thing to think because nobody knows that song. I don't know why I ever thought that. But yeah, it's just like the vibe it has, like and I can do it's more importantly, it's got my fucking hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Mm-hmm.
hey,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And it's just it's an energy I really like. It brings the energy to the table. It's kind of there's a yeah, I just love
Good
it.
tempo.
Yeah.
Good tempo. You can walk to it. You can still run to it. Like, yeah, and it's got the bounce you're looking for with everything. So nice. Yeah. It was. Were there any other? What were the other songs?
There's another song like that called Que Calor. Um, it's a little bit more popular, probably with like the Spanish community. I think it's the same band. I'm not sure. There's not so many copyright laws in all these fucking countries, so they just fucking run
Let
through
It
it.
Fly.
Let it
Yeah.
fly. Like that's why the Mexican wrestling is so cool. You got like Shrek versus the donkey, and it's like fucking Guns and Roses for the fucking theme song. It's like this is what we wanted. You know what I mean? Like, but
That's real wrestling, bro. That's real wrestling
real.
in my head.
That's real wrestling. And that song I was thinking about, it even has like the hey, like the actual words, like hey, hey, hey. But I don't fucking need it now, so I'm super happy with what I got.
Dude.
So we were talking about the song. How did the dirt bike come into the entrance?
I raced dirt bike. I started riding dirt bikes when I was 4 years old,
Mm.
and I raced them when I was 5, and I was doing like national championship races when I was like 7.
Wow.
But yeah, but that shit became expensive on my family and shit. But I've always like rode dirt bikes, like we were talking about having the 125 and the two. I think that might have been before air, but John and I were talking about dirt bikes. But I never really put it into my character at first. I don't know, and that never really occurred to me. And really, when the pandemic hit, is when I had a chance to fucking sit down and like think about the next step. Because my original plan was to fucking go to wrestling training every day and then go to every Evolve show and then go be on NXT like my friends, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
The pandemic, the last thing I did was I was doing extra work at NXT and I was like, all right, y'all, I'll see y'all at Evolve this weekend. That was the week after my Evolve debut. And that's when everything like shut down or whatever. So you just had to switch. I just knew I had to switch something, you know, like this wasn't like, I was on a bit of like a tunnel vision, like, okay, if I don't really have like a gimmick or like that good of gear, but like I'm definitely the hardest worker in the room and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So at that point, I just started really thinking about shit and thinking about what I was really into and thinking about like what I don't see in wrestling, and it just happened to be like the dirt bike shit, you know. There's skaters and blah blah blah, but there's nobody that's got the dirt bike thing, and it's a real background of mine. Like I can fucking ride, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just little by little, and there's also I just started really trying to be influenced by the things around me, and there's also like some musical. We were talking about the Spanish music.
Yeah.
There's like another type of it, like the corridos, like the narco corridos specifically, like that's my favorite type of Spanish music, but it does not present the vibe that I need for like what I'm doing. But there's a big like there's like a lot of them ride dirt bikes and do the fucking the cart things or whatever and four wheelers and shit like that. And there's a lot of times they'll do concerts like with the full like with the goggles around their neck or like with the goggles on their head and shit like that. Like it'll be a music video where they're like fucking, you know, talking about doing drugs and fucking bitches with into the most beautiful guitar you've ever heard, and they're pulling up on dirt bikes. You know what I mean? It's like the coolest thing ever. So I've started to be influenced by like little things like that, and just started fucking with it. Eventually bought, you know, the gear for it, and I didn't have a dirt bike at the time, so I saved up money, and I hadn't had a dirt bike for a while. And I eventually saved up money and bought a dirt bike and started fucking with it. I brought it to the WWA to Fox's school, and you know,
You ain't traveling with it. I know you ain't. You can't be traveling with that thing.
See, that's where I thought, like, I was like, oh man, like he just like it fits his character perfectly. I saw the travel videos, like, oh, he's just traveling in with his dirt bike, rolling up to the show, and it fits right in. And like, also, that's like, I guess it is kind of something hard at some places to try to find like someone with a spare bike to use at every single city you go to. But like I just thought that would just kind of fit the character perfectly, just like kind of like a nomad, like just traveling along and hopping on shows whenever. And the dirt bike was just a means for transportation there.
Yeah, dude, if I had a better vehicle, I could take the dirt bike more places. You know what I mean? I fly to a lot of these places.
Yeah.
I fly to a lot of these places, and a lot of times with just a backpack. So that's a lot of like decision making and money spending shit. That we could always be better at. But
Definitely.
yeah, I'm gonna try to get it out there more. I'll definitely have it in like probably in Florida, definitely in Atlanta.
Cool.
Yeah, because I was picturing him with like you can't put it in the trunk. It's gonna be kind of rough putting it in the back seat, and that takes up 2 seats. That wrestlers. Yeah, I didn't think you were.
I got a van. I got a van, dude. Like I can.
Oh, do you?
Fit it. Yeah, I got a fucking Toyota Sienna.
Oh no shit! So you're able to. Oh, lucky fucking you.
For sure, but it's got like 300,000 on it. It's still got another 100,000, but I'll try to be careful with it and sparing. I'll drive it like to Florida. I'll drive it to Indiana sometimes. That one loop's kind of tough. The GCW one becomes tough on the Midwest, but like I can drive like to Louisville or like to Tampa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From watching the fluids and stuff like that.
Roughly Atlanta to St. Louis. What you driving? How many hours is that?
I think it's like 9.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say at Atlanta, you're at least kind of central. You can hit the Florida scene, North Carolina. What's New Jersey from Georgia? How many hours is that?
13, but that's doable. Like with a regular car, with like me, Rico, and Terry bust that out, no problem.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering about that. I wanted to ask you a question here. What 3 matches are you most proud of? Because I have a feeling we're gonna have some new listeners here and there. So, which ones do you feel like you'd like to tell people? Hey, check these ones out. This is me. Like, do you have one with AR Fox you'd like to tell everybody about? Do you have?
I mean, definitely the first scramble I had there in center stage with the dirt bike, like the debut of the dirt bike, kind of, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of my recent GCW matches have been really my favorites, kind of recently, and it may just be fresh on the mind. I've done some fun ass shit. But yeah, me versus Price for sure. Me versus Facade. Me versus Von Gogh. I really like me versus Von Gogh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just what's kind of recently on my mind. Not to have the too easy of an answer, but.
No. Honestly, what's been, I mean, the trend right now is putting you in singles matches and you're flying with the right opponents. You know what I mean? So, those matches wouldn't have happened 2 years ago. Those wouldn't have been in your hands. You'd still be in the scramble and things like that. So, I mean, that's a step up. Just being in singles matches and being trusted to be in singles matches is one hell of a step up. There's only so many spots, and now you're being like, the stage is being cleared for only you and one other, not you and 7 others or 5 others. So, I mean, I think you should definitely look at that as one hell of a, step up. I think on the number, in the number 1 independent company, that's a nice step up now. So you're not just a scramble guy. You're not just a tag guy here and there.
I appreciate that, man. It's definitely, and dude, the whole locker room is all super fucking like, they point that shit out to me, man. You know what I mean? Like, like, I can't tell you, I can't name drop the folks that'll just be like talking to and like look up at the card and then it'll be like, oh shit, singles match, or like, oh shit, you're gonna win this. Like, oh shit, I'm definitely gonna watch. You know what I mean? Like, it's not lost on me. It's hard to, but you want to find a place of appreciation, but also like I can't allow myself to feel myself too much. I feel myself more than I used to, but you know what I mean?
I think you're humble enough, guy. You're not going to let that happen to you. If you're already watching now before you get larger, then you're already self-aware of where you need to be. So if you can just maintain that, you're already better off than those who have no idea that they're doing it. So just letting you know there.
I agree.
Yeah, we've been talking about how nice it's been seeing you in a singles format now, because now you got the spotlight, as John was saying, all to yourself now instead of sharing it with 4 or 5 other people like how you were on the multi-person matches. Now it's been nice to see you kind of share the spotlight with just an Alec Price and see your guys' style of just go crazy for 6 minutes, and same thing with Van Gogh. It's been awesome to see your style thrive in a singles way than it was same way doing the scrambles, but now it's just all eyes are on you, and it's been fun seeing you just excelling in the singles competition. And we've been asking for that we always kind of ask that, like, when we first see them, like, oh, it's cool in scrambles, but let's see what they do on one-on-one. And you've been stepping up and killing, and it's been awesome to see as of late.
Sick, dude. No, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's good to have all these things said out loud, so you can hear it. So yeah, I appreciate that shit, man.
Oh, of course, man.
You're hearing from fans.
I'm about to say, go check out the last 3 episodes. We were saying that for a while now. So
yeah,
if you're ever feeling down, go check those out too.
And since you've debuted, we have an entire track record of every show that you've been on that we've been like, this motherfucker's gonna hit. He's gonna hit. I see things, and then, like I said, the payoff now is people are seeing it and participating, and they're popping on your singles matches. So it's really cool.
Yeah,
Reed, your next match is your best match. That's the best way to put it right there. Constant improvement.
Damn right. Always got to improve, evolve, keep working.
How did you find GCW or vice versa?
Well, they're the fucking shit. But to be honest, man, I'm just big on, like, there's just so many goddamn wrestlers. Like, I'm just big on, like, finding where I want to be and, like, kind of making it known and, like, trying to do the best I can to, like, be a part of a team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for me at first, that was Evolve. Like, I saw how Fox was doing and Austin Theory and, like, the Skulk, like we were talking about. And I would just fucking follow the Skulk around, even though they didn't. Sometimes I wasn't wanted to be there. Fox always wanted me there, but you feel me? Like, I was just there. And, like, eventually one day Gabe was like, yo, thank you for helping. And then that's how our relationship developed. And I got a great fucking relationship with Gabe Spolsky. And then when that fell through, we do the reinventing thing, and fucking Fox is going to GCW in Atlanta, and I go fucking set up the ring with the guys, the WWA 4 students.
Yeah.
And, Brett, I guess, gave Fox the thing, a match for 4 guys. And that kind of started our relationship, I think. I think Billy Starks had something to do with it. I wrestled her in a fucking barn like a while back when she was young. And I've developed a relationship with Mouse and her since then. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. We really clicked and had a great match. It's on my YouTube, way back, and I don't know if that got me, because I thought she put that little scramble together. So I don't know if it was that or Brett remembering me from the AR Fox match thing, the Janela squash. I don't know if that was that or that they got into the scramble, but that's when I started having more momentum with it. I feel like everything is, for sure. Everything.
Mouse to spot. I'm gonna put Mouse down. I'm gonna leave Billy out.
Shout out the goats, both of them. And I don't know. I had like a bit of a moment in South America where I was like, it's a weird like combination of it. Where I was like, if I pulled up to South America and these places are all like booking me and shit, like, and I've already got a decent relationship with, GCW seen me. I was like, when I get back from South America, I'm gonna hit GCW like hard as fuck and just like pull up on them and help out as much as I can. And that slowly adds up to what we got now.
Gosh, man.
How about Sorry, I just had a question on the GCW shows. Like, how many of them did you like pull up to not being booked on and end up being booked on just because you showed up? I know that's like a big thing. Every wrestler always says like independent wrestling, show up, show up, show up. And I know that's a big thing for you. And I just wanted to like hear some more details on about how do you go about doing that, or for future wrestlers that are coming up, like about just showing up. You don't just show up and hey, can I hear to work? Like, how do you go about presenting yourself to open yourself up to work with them, to do the hard work that doesn't count in the ring first?
Um, like you say, maybe like a year ago, or like more like now.
Back when you first started, like first getting into like GCW back then, like
Every single time, every single time, basically. Besides, like you, bro. Honestly, especially back then, I wouldn't even like hit nobody up. I would just go.
Smart.
And see, that's something I've always wondered about with you, because I know you travel so often to these companies and stuff, like just showing up like that. I just like to hear about like what goes through that process and to get in and everything.
You just, I don't. It's not something I can explain to you what I do. It's not something that I could like would like I don't know if I wouldn't recommend it. I'm trying to say it like, because a lot of these companies will fuck you around on it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
let me think of a way to present what I'm trying to say. Like, dude, I would just fucking go. To answer your question,
Effort.
like I would just fucking go to like all of them, and like even some of the times now, it's more of like a, it's like a getting paid and taken care of, but a lot of it is based on just being okay with just going and just making a better connection and just listening to how fucking Mike Bailey puts a match together and just helping take the ring down and just making one step farther than you were before. That's always something that I come to terms with like before I go, so that it's fun as fuck. And I'm not asked to do anything because I'm volunteering to do everything, and it's a very freeing way of like being involved somewhere and like helping out. And it's the same shit I would just do at Evolve. It's just like go there and help out from start to finish. And now 10 times out of 10, some shit pops off that really helps my career. Before maybe it was whatever, 5 or 6 times out of 10. But I just really kind of fell in love with that process. And then the more I was doing travel vlogs, the more it's like, okay, well, I can just fucking go to Tijuana and fucking, actually, Tijuana was one of the first ones where I developed a line of communication, because one, my flight got fucked up, and two, it's like it's an international thing. I feel like I got a big step further there by proving I'll go international to fucking wrestle for GCW. But yeah, just like one step at a time, dude. Just like being okay with what I'm doing, because I'm also fucking like 31. Like I'm not trying. I'm not gonna prove something to it's gonna be tough for me to prove something to GCW by getting 1,000 reps somewhere the fuck else. That I'm not gonna learn as much from. That I'm not gonna like be better from. Hoping that I get a shitty clip that fucking maybe one day.
Yeah.
Like that. I don't like to say people's names, but then maybe one day somebody will see and book me because I'm a good wrestler. There's a million fucking good wrestlers. There's a lot of ones that are way fucking better than me. So like, why? That's why I go back to the showing I want to be part of a team and doing that. But I'm also really fucking solid at this point. Like it wasn't like when I started at Evolve. Like I don't think I've gotten much better in the ring in the past 2 years, if that makes sense. I think I think I've focused more on like my character and like, my just long-term health and just like being a part of the team and like stuff like that. I don't know if that makes much sense, that I'm not much better of a wrestler in the ring than I was 2 years ago, but like,
Well,
It
we
does.
always talk. We always talk about
No.
like confidence and like seeing people just find their confidence and how, as you said, you might not change much in the ring, but that confidence is putting you in the right spots to do the right mannerisms to get the crowd's reaction built into the fight and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I think maybe that's what we're seeing with you in singles competitions. You found that confidence, and like now you could show it on that one-on-one scene. And I think confidence is a big thing that we always talk about with every wrestler. As soon as we see it, we just see the change and how effortlessly they become in the ring. And maybe that's why you don't notice anything in like moveset wise or anything like that, but it's coming across in a different manner than what it was beforehand.
Hell yeah, I think there's something to that for sure. Yeah, definitely. I definitely feel more confidence, and I definitely feel like I have confidence of those. Yeah, I agree 100% too. With what he said.
Yep.
Yeah, I just
Wrestle
got lots
Dads.
of confidence for sure.
What's up for Wrestle Dads, by the way? They are always in here too. Yeah, you work the crowd very well. You know what I'm going to say, Bobby, because face to face, your timing, I feel like it's improved a little bit. And let's just say that you feel fundamentally, your drop kick to DDT, whatever, right? I feel like that in between space, that transitional space, you've eliminated some small steps that I feel like younger talent maybe takes. So I feel like maybe it's not that the two-step and this dance are good. It's the fact that you've learned how to kind of walk across the ballroom and go to the next dance a little easier than you used to. So I want you to know that there is definitely improvement there. And that's coming from the fan side, letting you know that, yeah, your transitions, everything in the middle is now flowing better together. Like you're saying, you've always had the ingredients. I'm just saying you're mixing the bowl with better tools now, and it's making everything look better.
Thanks, man. I'm feeling that too.
Fuck yeah.
Sure. Yeah, appreciate that.
All right, let's hear it, man. Your favorite venue?
That's my question. You just stole my
Oh,
question.
okay. You can say it. Go ahead and say it.
We'll
Take it out in post.
In the answer. You know me, I'm the venue guy here. I like hearing.
Yeah,
all
he loves venues.
Oh man, I really like Center Stage.
I knew that one.
You know,
yeah.
Talia's badass, or however you say that. Tahalia, Chicago. Damn, wherever the fuck I was just at in Hartford was crazy.
Yeah, the Hartford show.
Hartford. Yeah. I'm trying to think places I've been more than once. What's the New York one's good? There's a couple of New York ones. There's like a New York one that's kind of like Talia. It's not. It's like it's really pretty tight. Yeah, all these old venues are cool, man. All these like old historic, like right the fuck downtown.
Let's see, Hartford. Cool. Hartford was at the Webster Theater.
Yeah, Webster was sick.
Fuck yeah.
Webster was sick. Louisville was cool. That was UCC. What the fuck am I talking about? UCC is definitely, yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites.
Reed says action.
Action's home, yo, for sure. Especially the Tyrone venue. The Tyrone venue packed out because 250 people in there is just tight, and those are real good. That's a real good recipe. If that's about where you're at with it,
And then you were talking about wrestling outside the country. I know you wrestled in Mexico. I know the answer. Where else have you wrestled outside of the United States?
Outside of the United States, Mexico, only once in Tijuana for GCW. As crazy as that sounds, I've never dug deep into Mexico yet. Guatemala, Peru, Chile, Argentina. I think. Am I missing one? I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
So a good chunk of South America. Damn.
Yeah.
How do you get booked on those shows? Like, what's the process of trying to get out there and get booked and name value? How recognizable are you out there?
It's none. For me, it's none. You know what I mean? But there's some reach with GCW for sure.
Okay.
But that's I'll say that's among wrestlers. I've had people say that they come up to me, they're like, "Oh, I've watched you and I watched Teriyaki and so on GCW," but they're workers. You know what I mean? So that there's that little grain of salt, but there is that reach. If you show show them your stuff and send them your stuff, there is some name value. Not so much though. I mean, as far as getting booked, Ariel Van Gogh is the guy who got me out to South America, and Fox kind of got him out to South America. And the first time I went, I've been, I've done two, I've done one big tour of South America. I've wrestled in Peru, in Chile twice. The first time I went to Chile was just for one date, and basically the same as the formula here. Ariel Van Gogh, just he's like, hey, I got these fucking dates in Chile, blah blah blah, Bolivia, all kinds of crazy places. That belt he carries around is from fucking Bolivia.
Huh.
Yeah, so he just hits me with these dates, and he's like, hey, they'll at least use one more guy. I don't know if it'll be paid or like how much it is, and so I just said fuck it and went out there and did. I think that was the Comic-Con Chile match. But anyways, yeah, I went out there and did one Chile match and spent some time in Peru and really liked it. Yeah, I think that was yeah, but I can't forget where the match was, but there was one in Chile, and then I came back for 30. We came back for 30 days, and that was the same thing. He hit me with his itinerary, and I basically did the whole thing with him, except for Bolivia. And that's when we did. What the fuck did we do? I think we started in Peru, and then went to Chile. There's a scene in Chile. There actually is wrestling in Chile. Did like 2 shows and 3 seminars. Helped out a couple training schools out there, and then
Dude, the ladies whip ass. I'm sorry to break in.
yeah.
The ladies down south, man, those fucking women wrestle. I mean, some of them are in dresses and they're fucking tossing each other around, ragdolling it.
Oh, that shit's crazy. Yeah, they go hard out there, and we'll do fucking. We did like, let's just say a week and a half in Chile, and then like 2 weeks in Argentina. There's not as much work for wrestling in Argentina, but there's more like schools and shit. So he really did it all. He really put together the whole shit. He's got a whole movement he's working on with like connecting people in South America with other countries, and like he brought a bunch of other WWA 4 students with him to Peru to do some matches. So he's doing a lot of really, really cool shit with that. And then in Guatemala, somebody I met in Argentina hit me up while I was in Guatemala with a connect to wrestle out there. So I went and did that shit.
All right, so I'll ask you then, what originally made you want to travel? Because I think it was like you were looking at fishing, and you know what really, I mean, dude, you got to really want something if you're like, you know what, I'm going to go here, I'm going to travel for the least amount of money possible. Like, that's ballsy.
Traveling's fucking badass, dude. Yeah, I just, like you said, I just really want to do that shit. I may have started to get the bug, like learning Spanish, I guess, like in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I went, and then when I graduated high school, I went on my first trip to Peru. Like an 8 or 9 day, like high school tour thing. Went to see Machu Picchu.
Wow.
And so I always had that. And then, but it's also kind of like the reason you don't start wrestling at first. You're like, I can't fucking do this. Like, I got to get a job and blah, 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 blah. So, like, and then, I don't know. I just eventually got more exposed to how to get it done. You see the hostel videos and stuff like that. But also, like, my first long trip to South America really helped me understand, like, and Ariel helped me understand, like, how he gets by and blah, blah, blah. He doesn't really do the hostels and stuff like that, but, you're up cooking eggs and making homemade coffee, and, like, you're not eating out every day and, like, blah, blah, blah. You just realize that, yeah, the things that you can do with money, and sometimes not that much of it.
Those videos that you have on, yeah,
Sorry, go ahead, Brent. I
No,
was just
I
saying
was
you
just
found a lot of
around
happiness. That's all.
yeah, we're on a little delay here. Seems like too. Yeah, I was
Man.
just gonna say like those videos. Like I think I dubbed you last week. I was like, yeah, you're like the Dos Equis man. You're the most interesting wrestler in wrestling right now, just because of all your travel stories and like it's cool. Like I spent a little, like today watching a bunch of them and over the weekend, so I could ask you some of these questions. But some of these places you travel to are just so unique and like as I think maybe I skipped ahead, maybe I heard wrong, but like where like the itinerary goes, like with it would how do you go about finding like food places and stuff like that and like places to stay and like finding the cheap spots like that those don't places aren't showing up on like Airbnb and stuff like that. Like how do you go finding these different cool space spots and stuff like that for like your videos that it seems like it's part of your itinerary?
The key, well, with the hostels is pretty simple. If you go on any like Expedia, Kayak, what the fuck ever, and switch your setting to one person as opposed to two. Even in America, you can find hostels, which you know I can go into what the pros and cons of that. Like, I'm not in a hostel like every day. You know what I mean? I don't make much of an itinerary. Like I can go back by the most recent trip in Guatemala, which it's funny you brought up the food thing because it can become difficult, and I might have made a mistake by not making much of an itinerary. But so, for example, I booked like the first for that one. I booked the first 3 nights in a hostel on a river in Guatemala. So I had to get from the airport to another city and then take a boat from the dock to my hostel, which a hostel basically means you like share a room with somebody. This one I paid to get my own bed, to my own room. I mean, so like a room with doors. It was like $30 as opposed to $11 a night, and you like share like a bathroom and like a common space. And hostels have a more and more expensive one where you can get like your own room and your own bathroom and like your own privacy. If you like, for example, you got like a group of four, or like you got your wife or some shit or whatever. You could also like if you got a group of four people, there could be a room with four fucking beds in it, so you could rent out that like whole thing as well.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of like variables like to it. Um, and it changes day to day from there. Like I woke up from there and I like didn't have anything else like booked. I had to like manage the money that way too. So the next place I got a much cheaper hostel, a like $7 hostel, like, but it was like on the Caribbean coast, like floating, like not
Wow.
floating, but like yeah, like where there's like a river that drains out of Guatemala called Rio Dulce, and it drains right into the Caribbean, and you got like a hostel right there on the edge of the river, basically. That
Wow.
shit was $7. The power went out sometimes, but yeah, you just book it. You book it like little by little, and fucking yeah. There's so many variables. Like you just got to go by how you feel too, because sometimes the hostel can fucking suck. Like that one was kind of rough. The power would go out, and there's crazy storms, and like there's not AC and it's hot, so like the windows are open, but it's also storming, and like it's a tin roof, and it's like that's rough. So like I didn't do it right. The next day I'm like, let's go camping. That's a fucking awesome idea. I'm wrecked already. What I should have done was got a fucking solid Airbnb. Uh, you know what I mean, and like sat on the couch a little bit and chilled or whatever. So you manage your money that way. I can handle 2 or 3 days in a shitty hostel or in a nice hostel, but then eventually you want to sit down and not worry about being naked, and like
Yeah.
because there's pros and cons to hostels for sure. I think you should get a hostel the first day of your trip, because a
Huh.
hostel is like a traveler's like paradise, like for real. Like it's like exactly what you want. Imagine being in a delay, like a fucking like a layover, and then you get to your destination and it's fucking before check-in, so you can't fucking check in nowhere. But you get to your hostel, and you can lay your bags down. You can go to the bathroom. You can even take a shower because all the bathrooms down there are like, everybody's got to take a shower. So every bathroom's equipped most of the time. So you can even like take a shower at like most of the good ones, and you can like sit down in the lounge and like watch TV, and you can even like make food before check-in because like the kitchen is like open and like you share it. You know what I mean? So like in that way, it's really, really good to get a hostel when you first land. You save a bit of money. You make a lot of connections in those places. The people are super, super fucking nice. There's just like kind of like airport etiquette. There's like hostel etiquette. Like there's no reason to be a dick about anything because you're in like a bit of a weird situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's like I had a lot of questions on that stuff.
Yeah, dude, fire away with the hostel questions. I bet there's some good ones.
Well,
I got one.
Go
I'm
ahead, John.
sorry.
No, go,
Okay,
John.
okay. I'm on a delay, I think, Bobby and B, so I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm cutting you guys off constantly. I seriously don't mean to. Okay, Bobby, serious question, and I'm just saying it. I'm putting it out there. Okay. I've been homeless before, twice. You have this confidence of someone who's went without at some point. Have you? And again, respectfully, you don't have to. I'm just saying, bro, you've got that kind of confidence in you where you're like, you know what, I'll be all right. I'm gonna figure it out.
Not because of my parents or anything, you know what I mean? Okay, so yes, for sure. When I first started, I was hand to mouth the first 4 years of wrestling. Yeah. And maybe not at the beginning, but like let's say the middle 2 to 4 years of wrestling, because I just like said fuck it and was gonna do whatever the fuck it took to be at the WWA for Monday through Thursday, no matter the fuck what. It's not that I wouldn't have a job, but like, how's that gonna work? And then I want to wrestle on the weekends. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've definitely gone without, and bro, it even got to the point to where like it was like, okay, like I just have to eat food, like that's it, like I just have to eventually like eat food, and like I don't die, and now I have to go to no depressed shit. That's just not my thing. But like,
right,
I just have to eat food and not die, and now I can go to the fucking WWA 4 and like thought I was fucking Conor McGregor, and I was just gonna go to the gym and get better every day and become the world champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, bro, even like really up into the pandemic, it was a lot of just like hand to mouth. Bro, I stayed with Fox for a long time.
Yeah.
I had a crazy situation at a house I was living at. I had a roommate kind of get stabbed, and my fucking so Fox let me like go live with him, and I wasn't really working with much of anything. So to answer your question, yeah, bro, I had nothing for a long time, and it's nothing. It's by my design, you know.
Yeah.
And people have. I want to almost say nobody's giving me shit. People giving me so much, bro. People are giving me so much, and it was just that time, like a hand to mouth time in my life. It's crazy you asked that because that's for sure what it was.
I just feel it.
You don't want to talk about it when it's happening because like that's the last thing you want is like sympathy. You know what I mean? Because this is all like what I wanted. Oh, dude, bro, I remember a time I went to New York with Fox and Ashley, and it was like we get out to get gas, and it was like my turn to get gas, and I just like handed Ashley like or Ayla Fox like the only $20 I got, and I was like, here you go, like that's like all I got, you know, and fucking they just always rocked with me and were cool with, like not cool with it. You shouldn't act like that. I so much of the stuff that I've done is like not an example, you know, like not having money and like pulling up to shows unbooked so much, like so much of it is not an example, but it's just like the truth of what I did. And like, yeah, I could definitely go without some of these fucking budget trips are nothing. Like,
That's where I was gonna go with eating over there on the tight budgets. I see like one for like $1.50. You're eating over there, and like that's just insane. I want to hear more about like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you just fucking you just fucking figure it out, especially in other countries, man. Shit like can like be affordable. And like, when I'm home, I have to I don't have a crazy diet, but I have to try to eat a little bit better because like, and it's not that I'm going hungry, but you're eating bullshit. Like in the morning, like I'll have eggs and fucking bread and then a lot of like coffee and milk. And then I'll probably if it's a super budget, I'll probably like do that for lunch. And then
Yeah.
like, if I can get like a meal for like $2 at the night, you know, with some chicken and rice and shit like that, and I still got some fucking bread for the night for when I get like hungry, we'll make it to the next thing, and
Hell yeah.
this ain't, and don't nobody want no sympathy, you know what I mean? Like it's just I just rather do that than fucking sit at home, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll plan better more in the future for sure, but it's just like, and it's YouTube, man. I kind of rail some of these things harder, just super hard so that people, so that people get in. But none of it's like bullshit. Like, sometimes I'll use my credit card if I need to, but not say credit card. I don't have a credit card. I'll use my debit card if I need to. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, you just got to make it through. It's better than fucking staying home.
Gosh. I wanted to kind of catch up on messages here. I just realized that, by the way, we're just now hitting hour 2. We've got, we'll just say 500 in here right now, listening across all platforms. So thank you so much for checking in. For Bobby Flacco tonight, I just want to put in here. Clown said, watch too many horror movies to ever stay at a hostel. I'm sure you could probably give us a couple of horror stories.
That was one of my questions later. Yeah.
I just want to put it out there only because Wrestle Dads is one of our dudes. He's going to ask this question: how hard is it to get a work visa in Chile? And last question, or no, it wasn't a question. I just wanted to write in here, Facade, just giving some love. So welcome, Facade, tonight.
Love you, bro.
Neon Ninja. All right. So yeah, where were we at? I'm so sorry. I just wanted to catch
Work
up.
visa in Chile.
But I ain't gonna no work visa in Chile, bro. I have no clue. I imagine it's very fucking difficult because Chile is a developed nation, and it's. I imagine working there is not easy. It's one of the only places I've been in South America with like immigrants that are not from Venezuela. Like Chile, our dollar is worth not as much as theirs. Like you go to Peru, and you get like 4 times your money. You go to like Guatemala, you get like 6 or 7 times your money. You go to Chile, like you lose like a couple, like a 10, 20, some, I don't know recently, but I lost money when I went to Chile. So I don't know what the fuck it's like to get a work visa for Chile. I mean, I'm not even sure if I made more money in Argentina. Yeah, I made a little bit of money in Chile, but like fucking, whatever the $20 equivalent is. Oh yeah, I did make a solid show actually. So I made like $100 something in Chile, but again, that was like PayPal and like Chile's or like pesos. Never really got a visa. Hopefully, I can still go back to Chile if they're watching this.
I was about to say, we got a lot of people watching us all over the world. Maybe
they'll
hopefully
get
no
you
one in Chile.
they'll get you at the Mexican border for that shit. But that's just corruption. Like they don't care about your
Yeah.
visa in Mexico. Like I heard they'll like it never happened to me, but I heard if they'll like look through your shit and see like wrestling stuff, they'll try to get you to pay for like a work visa because you're gonna go like work. Yeah. Yeah, I've never gotten a work visa. Just that good old American passport, USA.
All right. What police have fucked with you the most? Where at? Either if you deserved it or not is on you, but I'm just saying, who had the police where you're like, you know what, these just aren't the guys I want to fuck with down here. I don't think I'll make it out.
I've got, I mean, from just stories and from even just like normal day-to-day corruption, you don't fuck around in Mexico, like period, with the police or the narcos. Just try to stay away from that. I've almost dealt with the Peruvian police. I'm glad I didn't. Man, when I was in the Amazon, there's a city called Iquitos that's like smack in the Amazon. It's like where all the rivers go to. There's like 500,000 people, but it's like smack in the middle of the Amazon. And I had a balcony out there, and I'm looking over this park, and man, the police, bro, were just like going through everybody's shit, like pulling oil out of motorcycles to like see if there's drugs in there, and
What?
just like, and people just chilling in the park, you know. So that's a place where I feel like I don't want to get into trouble. I ask for trouble sometimes in Peru, but I don't want to fuck around there. In Costa Rica, I have been detained in Costa Rica, and speaking of developed nations, that that they're forward, like they're forward developed nationness, like whatever the fuck that means, like saved me. Like I've dealt with police in Costa Rica, and they like went through my wallet and didn't take any money. And like, yeah, I can tell you all about that if you want. I was scammed and detained in Costa Rica, is what I was.
Fuck yeah, let's hear it, dude. Those,
I was about
those,
to say,
those
yeah, I want
like,
to hear it.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, my bad.
God damn, we ain't going on a commercial break
With the
now. Let's do it.
legs and shit. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
no, left it hanging.
So I'm there with a friend of mine from wrestling. Actually, a big inspiration for my travels. He was my boy at ACW. Kai Douglas. His brother is August Artois. Uh, thanks, Wrestle Dads. Kai Douglas. His brother is August Artois. And he goes to Costa Rica a lot. He's developed some good relationships. He actually went to volunteer at a Jaguar Rescue Center as soon as the pandemic hit. He was like, fuck the bullshit. I'm just going to go do that during the pandemic. So I went down there with him and visited that shit. But we get to our hut in the top of the mountain, in our jungle hut, and we got a problem, guys. You know what the problem is? Is that we don't got any fucking weed. So we got to go back down. We got to go back down to the bottom of it. This is a touristy town. It's not like a McDonald's, like a Burger King touristy town. It's like a backpacker, like hostel, but I'm sorry, resort, but it's a weird name. It's not like the Hilton. It's like the fucking Gecko, but it's a resort, and there's like hostels and like shit like that, and there's like white girls on bicycles and blah blah blah. So
safe place.
You think so? And I'm doing the old thing, you know, you walk around and you keep your eyes open and you figure drug dealers are pretty obvious to find. And I find the first guy I talked to, he spoke a little bit too much English. I knew he was sketchy. I find the first guy I talked to, and long story short, we agree on a price of like 50 American, and I give him $50, and he starts giving me the weed, and like, first off, he was like, "You tell me when it's enough." I'm like, "Bro, keep filling it up. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's not enough yet." And then he's like, "That's it." So I like, it's loose in my hand. So like, I go to put it in my pocket, and I'm like dealing with that, and I like look up from that, and he's mad, and he's got what's a crumpled up like $1 bill in his hand, and he like opens it up, and he's like, "What the fuck are you giving me? You give me a $1 bill. You said $50 and you give me like a $1 bill." So like, he is trying to say that I gave him $1 as opposed to $50, and that I still owe him like $50 for like the weed in my pocket. So he and I are going back and forth with that for like however the fuck long that is. And like, I feel like I see one police truck kind of like go by. And then like, just as like it becomes too long, and like, I'm like, fuck this. I'm just going to give him another $50 to like be done with it. You know what I mean? The fucking police like start pulling up. And like, so he's throwing his bags like underneath. And this is Costa Rica police. And he throws the bags he got underneath his truck. So I like pull the loose weed out of my hand or my pocket and like throw it underneath the truck. You know what I mean? So there's like, I think there's nothing on me. So at least I think I got that. And like, they're just, you know, normal police thing. They're like searching, shut the fuck up, blah, blah, blah. The guy over there is talking crazy. And it's interesting because he's like, it's just weed. Nothing, no pasa nada. He's like, it's just weed and it's all good. Like, whatever. But he's also like talking shit. He's like, but that's the guy. You see those bags? This guy over here, he was trying to sell me weed, acting like I was the drug dealer, which the cops almost can kind of like instantly like, what? That's weird.
Yeah.
That's not it. And then like, they're searching me, they're searching him. They eventually, like I said, they found the weed underneath the truck. and like they're like searching me, and like I have my hand in my pocket, and they haven't found nothing on me yet, and they're pretty pissed, you know, like I got my hand in my pocket. Oh, I'll say this before. Uh, he's like saying some shit to me. He's like saying like something, and I was like, you know, I didn't hear you that well. I'm in Spanish. I'm like, I didn't hear you that well. Can you like say that again? He's like, mejor que no entiendas. He's like, it's better that you don't understand what I'm saying to you. And I'm like,
Oh
fuck,
shit.
dude, this is about to be crazy.
Uh-uh.
And then so like eventually like he's like, pull your hand out of your pocket, and I'm like, fuck, because there's a little bitty nug in there that I can kind of feel with my fingers. So I'm like, fuck. So I did this, hoping it would like just fall and he wouldn't see it. And he sees the nug fall to the ground, and he's almost like kind of relieved. He's like, oh, now I kind of understand, like he's got the loose weed. And like then he's going through my wallet and like going through, he doesn't touch any of my money. There's like hundreds of dollars in there. He doesn't touch like any of my money. And he's like looking in the crevices and under the driver's license, and I'm like, oh, he's looking for like drugs, you know what I mean? He's looking for like
Drugs.
white drugs. Yeah, you know what I mean? So the weed falls, he like doesn't find anything in my wallet. And then finally he's like, pasaporte, he wants my passport. So now I'm got all that, and now I'm an American for real, because I can prove that I'm just like an American here with Costa Rican. You know, I'm here visiting Costa Rica trying to find some weed. And they kind of just, I don't know what they thought. I guess that's not what they thought at first. And then once that kind of like hits them, they're like, okay, we'll like let this guy go. And they're like, yeah, walk that way. My boss is gonna watch you leave. So I got out of that one in Costa Rica. But yeah, you were asking about shitty police. Those police were kind of cool, as far as like not taking my money, and like, yeah, he said the thing about it's better that you don't understand, but who knows what they thought I had going on, you know? Because we're both like
Wow.
we were both kind of like halfway not Costa Rican, you know? Like he looked kind of half American, you know? So, but yeah, that shit was scary. But we got our weed. Actually, no, I didn't get weed, but I not from them, but I fucking got weed from somebody else immediately after, because I wasn't going back up there defeated.
The story has a good ending.
Yes, we made it.
Are you getting some high level, or is it a lot of like outdoor kind of, mids and lower kind of?
Mostly like outdoor and mids, dude. In Costa Rica, that the prices varied from like $18 a gram to like $3 a gram, because it goes from like touristy scams, you know, all from touristy scams all the way to like what you actually pay.
Locals.
Like the guys from the Jaguar Center hooked us up with like a plug, and yeah, it's definitely not regular weed. But by the time you've traveled for a day and a half, and like I just don't want to be drinking, if I'm being perfectly honest. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Have you ever thought about skirting around that by hitting up the wrestling school when you get to that area and be like, dude, can you guys help a brother out? Where do I get weed at? Because then you get a safe plug.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like in Peru, I'm good all the time. Like Ariel hooked me up with a plug from wrestling since before, and now like as soon as I get to Lima, Peru, like I got it set up. But it just depends if it fits in the itinerary. Like when we were in Argentina, Chile, 9 times out of 10 that would be the connect, and it's much safer. Like I do that shit sometimes just for that very reason. Like now I got somebody to hit up, like when I get to Peru, when I can get a ride and some weed and like be safe.
Oh yeah.
What's like one of the scariest situations other than that, like you found yourself in, like physically like scared for your life? Because you seem like you're like on boats and you were walking down that one street and the guy's like, hey, put your phone away. You're around the gangs. Like what has been the most scared part of your trip so far?
The most scared, there was when I'm comparing the most, just recently in Guatemala, I had a weed thing to where I was, oh dude, and I was already in way too deep for like $4 worth of weed. I should have just walked away. Yeah, I'll tell you.
Can't take
story.
You anywhere.
Yeah, so I'm walking. I made it to that city in Guatemala. It's called Livingston, which is like interesting because it's like half an African city. Like you got the Mayan ladies with the colorful dresses, and then you also got fucking like African ladies with the things on their head and their own little colorful dresses. And it's like this weird city with like no roads to it. Like you can't take a car there. And
What country is this in? I'm sorry, Bobby.
It's called
Guatemala.
Livingston, Guatemala. It's the
Okay.
Caribbean side of Guatemala. There's only a little bit of Caribbean coast in Guatemala because it's closed in by Mexico and Belize, I think. But yeah, you take a boat from the river hostel to Livingston, Guatemala. Anyways, I'm walking on the beach there. Um, crazy beach. Let me take a sip of water real
No,
quick.
you do your thing. You do your thing real quick. There we go.
These are the stories I've been waiting for here.
I was gonna say this has been a long journey. He's got to get a drink in, got to relax. Fuck yeah. No, it's good, man. This is good, Bobby. This is the good stuff here. I love these stories.
All right, so I'm walking on the beach in Guatemala. I'm not even looking for weed, but I really just go to a restaurant. Well, I'm actually looking for a place to smoke. And then like this guy kind of hops out, one of those over pushy fucking restaurant guys. He was pushy and drunk from the start, but anyway, one of those over pushy restaurant guys is like, "Hey man," they talk like half Jamaican, half Spanish. Well, you know what I mean? Like, "Hey man, come to my restaurant." They talk like that, bro. And he's like, "Yeah, come into my restaurant. We got burgers and like blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Okay, maybe I'm just going for a walk." And he's like, "Yeah, we got the good weed too, man." I'm like, "All right, whatever." The weed I had was the aforementioned kind of grassy, like, not so fantastic weed. And I go back and he's like, "Oh, you're back, blah, blah, blah." But of course, the place is just like his mom. It's like an open, like, plot, like in the middle of a couple buildings, and it's like kind of run down. And it's just like his mom, and they're cooking, and like he gives me he like kind of does the touch your shoulder thing, which I don't like, and he like gives me the beer menu, and the beers are like triple fucking price. I'm like, I guess I'll have one, dude. And then like he's like, "Oh yeah, buy me one too, man." I'm like, "No, like I'm on a yo." Those people don't get Guatemala, bro. Guatemala is for broke motherfuckers. Like that's not what you're in the wrong spot for that. Anyways, I'm like, "No, this is a hard trip for me, man. Like I don't even want my beer, to be honest." Like, and he's like, "Okay, check out the food menu," and that shit is super overpriced. I'll talk about the food out there. Like that shit was super overpriced, and I'm like, "I'm good, man. Do you say something about some weed?" And he like pulls his weed out, and it smells like American fucking weed. It smells like good stuff, and that. I didn't have all my weed guard up, like when you leave your hotel and you're like, "All right, I'm going to go do something dangerous." Like you're kind of thinking and like, whatever. Like I was just on a stroll, and now this guy's got some weed that like I got to have, and he's like, "How much did you pay for the other weed?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm not even going to tell you because you're not going to believe me because you've already been fucking trying to rip me off this whole time."
Right.
And I told him, I was like, "I paid 30 for 30 quetzales for 2 grams, which is like $2.30 for like 2 grams. And he's like, "No, that's crazy." And I'm like, "All right, whatever. Like, that's cool." He's like, "All right, like, give me 50 and I'll go get it." And I'm like, which you shouldn't just give the drug dealer your money, obviously. But I did. I wasn't thinking. I just fucking gave it to him. And I was like, "Damn, God damn it." And he's not going nowhere. And he rolls up his own weed and he's trying to smoke it and he wants me to get another beer. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." He's just trying to get me fucked up and like forget. I think he wants me to forget about this whole situation. I think he wants me to just forget about it and leave because we're like getting into conversations about bullshit and like he's offering me a bite of the food at the plate he's eating out of. Like it was just crazy, bro. And like eventually, like I'm like, "What's up with the weed?" He's like, "Oh, I gotta go get it." I was like, "You mean we gotta go get it?" Like I'm going with you. And so we get up and walk, and he's like trying to walk fast. He eventually takes me to this like store. He's like half a store. It's just like a building. Everything's for sale everywhere in Guatemala. It's just like a building with some stuff for sale. And they fucking he gets out my sight. He's just gone. And I turn around and I talk to the lady in there, and I was like, "He's probably gone, right? Like I'm never gonna see him again, right?" And it's funny because he was getting weed. She was like all nonchalant. He's like, "Oh, I think he's getting weed. Oh, yep. He's getting weed. He'll be right back." But he comes back with 2 bags, and he like acts like he's gonna hand me two, but then he like hands me one and kind of like forcefully pulls back the other one, and kind of like halfway reaches for the one I got. And he's like, I'm not gonna give you the rest until you give me my money. And I'm like, fucking what money? Like, I don't. What money are you talking about? He's like, my tip, man. I did all this work for you, and like, you got to give me my money. And then they kind of like switched to Spanish because we both spoke English and Spanish. Like, a ti no te debo nada, güey. Ya te di mi dinero, you know. Like, I don't know you shit no more. Like, I gave you the money to perform this service, and you need to give me this money now. You know what I mean? And I said that, and at that point, I realized I was like, dude, this is like $9 worth of weed, and this guy's like drunk and tall, and like obviously like looks reckless, you know. And at that point, I thought I was like, all right, if he pushes back one more time, I'm just probably gonna walk away with my one bag of weed and like get this over with, right? He's like, and then eventually she was like, what does he owe you? What does he owe you? Like I heard the lady screaming in there. She's like, what does he owe you? What does he owe you? And I was like, just like this one bag, he just won't give it to me. And he like gave it to me, and I was able to walk out. But I knew I was just doing too much over like a little bit of weed, but like a pride thing
Wow.
too. Like he was doing me dirty, man.
All right, point of the
Tom.
story is stay away from all the drug dealers in all these
Yo,
countries.
yeah. Dude, no, it's
Thanks.
true. It's true. I bet if you look up anybody who's been killed abroad, they're either in the sex trade or like looking for sex or looking for drugs.
Wow.
That's probably a fact.
Unbelievable.
I'd say 80%.
All right. So I'm gonna switch us back for just a little bit, and then we're gonna kind of switch around here. What has been in wrestling? We're gonna switch back. Sorry here. What's the biggest holy shit moment you've had?
For myself?
Yes, sir. Like winning your first championship, maybe?
I don't know. I think this is like ride I'm on right now, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, just even like the stuff you were talking about, just like really putting it all into perspective and like realizing where I'm at and what I'm doing. Like that's kind of cool. Like the holy shit moments are like the card, looking at the card on the wall, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the people you're in there working with, and like while you're looking at the card, it's like we were saying earlier, it's like, oh shit, you got the singles match, or like, oh shit, you're winning this. Like that's the holy shit. It's like that you're accomplishing what you're working towards, you know?
What's your favorite spot on the card? Like some people I know like to open because they like to set the tone and get all their stuff out of the way before everyone else does. Where do you prefer to go on the card? Because we've seen you kind of open or early in these first couple ones, and I think opening's been fantastic for you with the pace that you've been setting, like with Alec Price and stuff. What do you feel is best for you?
I really like opening. I think everybody does, particularly at GCW, because GCW is not a place where people are still filing in. You know what I mean? It's typically a place that's fucking rocking as soon as fucking Emil gets out there. And the beginning of the GCW show is special in and of itself. So first is fucking badass. Yeah, I like first.
Hey, not gonna lie, get out there before and after the show too and talk to everyone. It really does make a difference.
I gotta get. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
But
Here, what else do we got? Worst bump taken.
Worst bump taken. It's always something fucking weird. It's always what you don't think.
Like, did you jump out of the ring and twist an ankle? One of those things where like the littlest thing got you?
Some shit like that, man. It's always that. There's always, when you leave that one little room for air, there's that little extra hurt that it gives you, you know.
Kind of wrestling related. Are you still using that hostel across the UCC? Was that a decent place?
Fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah, bro. Especially in LA where you can just smoke weed outside and it's 80 degrees. Yeah. That hostel's perfect, dude.
Who's the future opponent you would like to wrestle in GCW that you have not yet?
Arez.
Oh,
Perez. Dude, fucking Galeno, bro.
Oh, hell yeah.
there we go. That was a
We're
good
big
first
fans.
two there. I
Bro,
definitely like to see that.
Me and Galeno was fire, bro. Would be fire. I'm sorry, would be fire.
Where did this happen? I need to see.
No, I didn't. I didn't mean to say that. We haven't wrestled.
You're good. You're good.
I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah,
Those
Reds is a.
bootlegs.
Oh, go ahead, Kev. Yeah, get Kev in.
Long live GCW podcast. What's up, dudes? Checking in. Good to see you, Kev. Right
Yeah.
here. First for GCW. Baller.
Yeah.
We always feel like those first matches like set the tone and like set the energy level for the rest of the show. So like I always feel like the opening's just as important as the main event because you got to get the crowd into it. So that way at the main event they can send them home happy.
Yeah. I really love opening for sure.
Great one. Yeah.
Great one says Bobby in one of those crazy lucha trios would be great.
Oh, opponents. Yeah. Yeah, Galeno, Arez, fucking the luchador guys. Dude, I can't I'd say I'm more of a Effie than a Gringo Loco, I would say. You know what I mean? But I still would love to wrestle those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I connect with those guys for sure. I don't want to say what the bad news was or like what show, but fucking like one of the there's some shit that just devastated Galeno that I had to like really translate and like spell out to him. You know what I mean? That it struck me that it like hit him so hard. It's nothing serious or whatever, but it was just like almost like adorable. You know what I mean? That I like.
Yeah.
It was just an interesting moment of humans for sure. He's a cool guy.
Reed says, by the way, I'm still here just taking these stories in. Bobby is best when he just goes off. Agreed. The stories are what's up, man. WrestleDad yells out to Gringo. Kev's bootlegs. I meant long live Game Changer Weekly. Of course. Everybody has a moment. I had a ton of them before we went on air today. Before you hit the match, Bobby, when does the adrenaline hit you?
When I know that it's really about to happen, you know, because you can't let it come too early. Otherwise, you're just like in the back with all this adrenaline for fucking, you know. But like, I really like when like the bell rings for the other match, or like when the other person's fucking like music plays. Like, yeah, I would fucking go crazy because you're holding it back in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a cool little stasis. Like it's very, very chill because you really don't have another option. Or for me, like, I can't just fucking go crazy all the time. I'm a pacer, you know, but I can't just freak out like I want to, you know, until the moment is right.
You still have nerves before you go out?
Yeah, especially like at GCW. Yeah. But it's part of it, you know.
Any superstitions or rituals before you go out to the ring?
If it's not hot, I'll get like, if it's not cold, I'll get like cold water on me, get like that shit going, kind of just holler like I was talking about before. Nothing too crazy, just whatever I can do, whatever I really get the opportunity to do.
Speaking of water, have you ever you been taking the bike around the ring and slipped on water and ate shit?
Dude, nah, but I'll tell you, I like basically hit this old lady. I didn't like hit her, but I like basically hit, like,
graced her.
Man, I
love tap.
I learned that I quit fucking around with these spots with the dirt bike. You know, it just is his own thing. Like, I did a spot where like it was like a match with Rico at a lucha show, and like it was like I went under him. I went to attack Rico, but like he leapfrogged me, and like the other kid super kicked me, and like it's like an outside show, and it's like there's people everywhere, and I like love tapped this fucking lady that like basically put the show on. It was terrible.
And that explains the traveling on a budget episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Ran
Oh,
over the booker.
I hit her with
Who
my Delta Miles.
who in the GCW locker room has brought the most out in you?
Price for sure. Price. Yeah.
I like that answer.
Yeah. And I trust, like, how do I say this? I trust he's not gonna like do too much either, you know. He's gonna pull like the right amount, and like we're not gonna go too crazy, but the things we're gonna do, we're gonna execute with his level of perfection, you know.
Yeah.
And that I can do, you know. I can rock with people that are gonna do that and bring that to the table, you know. Yeah, definitely Price, for sure.
Something about that age thing too, man. He can also motivate like a motherfucker. If he has to sit you down and talk to you while you're sitting in a chair, dude, he'll make you walk through a wall if you listen to him long enough.
Yeah, bro, I just trust him for whatever. Yeah.
Now, you talk about going on the road, doing a lot of traveling. Who are your road trip buddies here in the United States?
Really like Rico and Terry. It's not so much anymore. I really like to travel with Adrian Alanis and Liam Gray whenever I get the chance to.
We haven't seen too much Teriyaki in GCW lately. Is everything he good there? Just not taking as many outside bookings?
Yeah, well he got hurt and then
Oh, okay.
he got
There
hurt
we go.
and then some fucking car issues. And my bad, there's some dogs are going crazy outside. Yeah, he got hurt and then he's got some car issues and he's still like, pulling up to these things. So we'll see him soon
Good to
for
hear.
sure. Yeah, we'll see him soon for sure. He's my guy. I like to, man, I don't travel with too many folks, I love everybody, but I really like to do my thing.
Any wrestlers on your radar at GCW you'd like to face?
Yeah.
Who you got?
Oh, of course, my brain quit working. I want that one-on-one with Effie. I've had a lot of multi-man matches with Effie. There's a lot of folks. I want to wrestle DeReese. I like DeReese a lot.
That'd be a fun one.
Yeah, whenever he's around or whenever I'm out there. Yeah, Gringo would be a good one. I want Gringo.
Do you fuck with Glass or no?
Fuck no, dude. That's the thing, bro. Like, that's the thing, man. Like,
yeah,
trying to be like Action Mike Jackson. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
longevity.
Yeah,
start getting on them rails, bro. Start walking them rails now.
Yep. That's not for me, man. I might not. I don't know, dude. It depends what opportunities present themselves to me because, like, yeah, I'm not. I have a lot of respect for deathmatch wrestling, and I wouldn't even I just nah, man. Like, I just can't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, facade. I'm not even crazy about chairs and shit. Like, doors are cool, but like, I distinctly remember asking somebody not to hit me with a chair, and they still hit me with a chair, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I mean, this shit is real, man. That's that extra, like. I mean, that's just the honest truth about myself. I don't know, like, what plan somebody had for me with that type of shit, but nah, man. Like,
did they swing it or throw it?
It was like swinging it on your all fours or whatever. And like, I've been in matches like it depends. I trust a lot of people. Like, I want the Macizos again, like that's or like one or maybe with the singles like Miedo or Ciclope. Like, I would do some shit with them. I might not put myself through a glass, but like I've trusted them with chairs and like doors and shit like that.
Yeah,
but like it's not part of my personality, yeah.
Right there. Great One's asking, has Bob versus Cartwheel happened yet?
That's so fire. That's like one of those matches, kind of like with Price. Like I'm saying, like yeah, man, we can go to some different levels. I'm sure he'd push me.
Fuck yeah. Who's the one person you'd like to sit down with and talk to, living or dead?
That's a good one. Uh, Bald and Bankrupt. He's like the number one like travel vlogger.
Really?
I mean, he's not bankrupt no more, but yeah, his name is
You
travel.
want to sit down with him?
Dude, yeah, he's like 52 and he's like got malaria. You know, like he's a fucking.
So he's a traveler.
He's a traveler, dude. He's like fresh out of India with malaria, dude. Just still making travel vlogs.
Damn.
Wow.
That's kind of what I want. You know, like that's where I see myself in 20 years is being 50 doing travel vlogs. And honestly, still wrestling. That's why I don't want to do all this extra shit because I sincerely want to wrestle 20 years from now. So like not in a crazy rush to do anything. That's why I'm so blown away with what I'm doing right now. It's like, damn, I was just gonna pull up at GCW and like see what's up, you know, because I got, you know, it's 2024. We got a long time to do this shit, you know. So like,
yep,
that's why I'm blown away and kind of trying to figure out what I'm doing next. Even with like the travel vlogs, it's like, you know, the more success you have there and the more success you have with wrestling, you get opinions and advice, you know. And I'm already like blown away with what I'm doing. So it's like figuring out the next thing is crazy. So I'll ask Bald and Bankrupt all those questions.
What's the most famous wrestler you've met? I'm sorry, Brent.
No, that was going to be. I was going to like, what's the most famous wrestler you met or talk to, like outside the states? Like, at one of those shows that you've been out there. Like, what's the most popular one that's been out there with you?
Like outside of the United States?
Yeah, like the shows in Peru or stuff like that. Or like, is there not like any big like recognizable
Tijuana may
names?
have one.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not really sure outside of the United States, to be honest.
What about inside? Let's hear it.
Oh man,
you haven't shared a beer with Stone Cold yet?
Nah, I mean I've been there, not with Stone Cold. I don't know, man. Some of these people are my boys. I'm cool with Matt. I'm really cool with Matt Sydal. I'm real cool with Matt Sydal.
Nice.
I don't know, man. I don't know if these are the most famous people, but like, I'm gonna fuck her name up. But the ref on Raw, Aja, she used to wrestle. Where I'm really tight with her and Ruff. I mean, I grew up with the Finleys and Brogan. I grew up with David Finley. Me and David Finley Jr. were on the same wrestling team, so I grew up with his dad.
No shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, his dad was like kind of half the coach. Not when I was there, but later on, like halfway the coach in a way. So I grew up.
What's your thoughts on him over in Japan right now?
Dude, he's killing it, man. He's fucking killing it. I've seen it. You know, he's been working hard at that shit because we would be at the same gym a lot, especially when he was really starting to get pushed. So he's been going crazy at that shit, and it's been a weird, tough journey for him. You know, like mentally and like just being that generational thing or whatever. So yeah, I'm super happy for him.
Is there something? This is a great time to do it, Bobby. We got 550 to 600 in here right now. Is there something about you or your character that you wish people knew better and you'd like to set it straight? Because now is a great time.
Huh. Say that again.
Is there anything about you or the character you portray that maybe you'd like to set straight with people, or is there something that you feel maybe people get wrong about you? You know, do you want to tell people you just want to see people have fun? Like,
yeah, man, I don't really care about that shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like maybe somebody thinks some shit. I think I present a pretty straightforward version of
product, yeah,
myself, you know, that, and I'm fortunate enough to where I'm comfortable with that I can like make it my wrestling thing, you know. Not everybody has that luxury, you know.
Yeah.
I had a seminar. Well, I didn't go to a seminar. I stole a seminar from Evolve because I was setting up chairs with Adam Cole, and someone asked him the character thing, and it was like basically like between like who you are turned up or like fucking Kane, you know, what's like ideal or what's best or what works out or blah blah blah. He's like, it's not either one of those. It's like who are you comfortable being? It's not like who you are in most cases. It's not like the big green monster. It's fucking who are you comfortable being, or who do you like to be, or even who do you like want to be? You know what I mean? And for me, it's always just kind of been like a turned up version of myself. You know, um, especially the more I put in the travel thing. I don't know. There might be some. I don't care about what people think. To be honest, man, I'm fucking too old for that shit.
You do feel
But I
like
love
though
y'all,
whatever
man.
you're portraying is good. Like you don't feel like people are getting you wrong in any way though.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe
I feel
I
like
don't.
you're straightforward. I feel like you present a specific thing, you show it to us. There's no hidden anything behind it. So
Yeah.
that was a question I knew you might have hard time on just because I feel like you're just honest and upfront with your character from the gate. So
Yeah.
I've got some really scary personal questions here. This is where it gets, you ready for this, Bobby?
Yeah.
I'm just fucking with you. Here we go. Do you have any pets?
Yeah. Yeah. I have. I live in the like the downstairs of my folks, so I kind of have one dog. And there's like my dad's dog that's kind of down here with me too, and we have a horse on the farm too.
Oh,
And
nice.
I've always kind of grew up with horses and like the equestrian life and all that shit. Been scooping horse poop since I was a baby.
I have a question on your travels. What's been the most interesting thing you've eaten?
Ooh.
Either a fucking worm out of a tree in the Amazon rainforest or a guinea pig.
So
Oh,
you guys
guinea
never
pig, huh?
ate the armadillo?
I didn't eat the armadillo. I
Okay.
didn't eat the armadillo. I was on the way out when they pulled it up out the river, and then like,
Okay.
well, I was on like the last like tour of my like trek or whatever, and then we went back to the thing, and they like started putting it in the pot, and then my boat back to the city had arrived by then, but I didn't eat the armadillo. But they damn sure had that thing cleaned as soon as they pulled it out the water. She just
Yeah.
pulled the
That
armadillo out the water, cut it open
that
with her.
visual's crazy. Or
So
just taking
wild.
it out the water of the boat is just insane.
Insane. She was like, carne asada? Like, fuck. Fuck yeah.
I was like, I had to ask about the
Hey, if
armadillo
it's
because, like,
grilled
man,
right,
that was insane.
Yeah.
I'm just
That,
saying, if it's grilled right.
I wish I would have tried that. And I told a guy that I work with at a Mexican restaurant that, and he's from Mexico. And he's like, yeah, I've had that. So,
What's the wildest thing you turned down not eating?
not like direct offer, but like there's just at these like markets and shit, bro. There's just so much like, just like there's like the fat larva is like on the grill, you know. And
Yeah,
I had a little one,
like
you know, so
grubs.
that you can just, you know, like, but the fat larva, you got to take like bites of it. Like
Hmm.
I didn't do like none of that. And there's like turtle, there got like turtle and
Whoa, what?
all kind of
Well, I
shit.
heard like some of the grubs and shit are smoky tasting. Like sometimes
Yeah,
they'll try to. I don't know.
the one I had tastes like coconut because it was a real coconutty area, like over there with the coconut trees in the Amazon.
Wow.
But yeah, I feel like that's what I've heard too. It's like kind of you grill it, so it's like smoky on. Got that skin and it's gooey on the inside. You know, that's what I've heard.
I regret that question.
Guinea pig is pretty crazy. I have heart
I'm
a
about to
lot.
say,
Like
yeah. What did that taste like?
It's rodent, right? Yeah.
chicken. I think it was it might not have been fried, but but it has a really nice skin. Like I think it actually wasn't fried. I just thought it was, and it's seasoned up real nice. And yeah, it was fire. I mean, it wasn't a lot of food. I got fried rice on the side, and especially because I might not have liked it. But yeah, I'll always get something else on the side just in case.
Okay.
All right. Back to America. Favorite fast food.
Zaxby's.
Zaxby's.
Y'all got Zaxby's?
No.
You
No,
know,
I don't
Zaxby's
even remember. I don't think I remember hearing that in the Midwest either.
It's like it's chicken. It's like
Yeah.
like fried chicken and shit. But it's like it's actually like still like good chicken, you know? Like even Chick-fil-A is kind of shitty now. Like I don't want to sound like the regular fucking Joe who just shits on fast food. But like yeah, like but Zaxby's is like a tender with like not too much breading and like it's just fire.
Nice.
And it, you know, for fast food, you know, it's pretty good.
Do you have a famous family recipe that you like to eat?
I'm dumb, dude. I don't know how to cook shit, but I do have something that I cook now, which is ground beef and pineapples. Which is you just fucking take the pack of ground beef and you start cooking like you're gonna make hamburgers, but then eventually that falls apart. I'm fucking stupid. And then you cook the ground beef. You put the a little bit too much seasoning, you know, so it's like a little bit like extra salty, and then you fucking put the first little pile in the bowl, and then you put like the pineapples, like the fucking whatever. You can buy a whole pineapple and chop it up if you want, or you get like a can, put a little pineapple, layer of beef, put some more pineapple, and it like, you know, it complements it pretty well, and it's just a simple, easy thing. Like that's what I eat when I'm at home is like eggs and fucking beef, because like you know, when I'm out on the road, I'm for sure not the best on my diet, you know. So like when I'm at home, I try to eat better, and like when I work at a Mexican restaurant, I try to not eat the fried stuff, you know.
Is there anything your family makes that you like to eat?
I have an uncle who's like a crazy cook. My grandma used to have some soups off the chain. My grandma was good at soups and biscuits.
Oh hell yeah!
But I mean, to be honest, I got some workaholic parents, so they're not famous in the kitchen.
Yeah.
My dad can whip up kind of like me, like some survival shit, like some sausage with some barbecue sauce or something, you know?
Yeah.
But they're both kind of work a lot. So
when you were a kid, what were the video games you dominated?
Bro, I was only really into like wrestling and motocross, like with the SmackDown versus Raw shit. And then like, you remember MX versus ATV or MX Unleashed?
Fuck yeah.
MX versus ATV.
Mm-hmm.
That's that fire shit right there. I say that I was into Metal Gear Solid for whatever reason.
Nice.
Y'all
Good choice.
Did you have a favorite racer growing up?
Yeah, James Stewart for sure. Y'all heard of James Bubba Stewart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say you're a Pastrana guy or something.
Oh yeah, no, but Pastrana, like as a, you know, aside from racing for sure, Pastrana or Deegan, dude, are you all from Cali? So y'all know all about this shit. I sat and watched when I was telling you about, you know, my character stuff. I sat and watched Crusty Demons, fucking Travis Pastrana, Google, fucking Brian Deegan, fucking the
Deegan,
Twitch
that's
vlogs. Twitch, I love Twitch. Twitch has got really good vlogs. Jeremy Stenberg, he's got really good vlogs. Like, yeah, I grew up in the Jeremy McGrath, not Jeremy McGrath. I mean, he's big, but Ricky Carmichael, James Stewart, Chad Reed. That's like the three for sure.
I actually went to a school with Carrie Hart's brother.
No shit.
Yeah, he was a big racer too. Out here following his footsteps.
See, so y'all are you wouldn't say that you're like motocross people though, right?
No, I'm definitely not. No. I know like of the game and stuff like that. That's what got me into it, to know some of these names and stuff like that. But I don't like really follow it. But that's what kind of introduced me to it.
I think it's also Cali. My bad, go ahead.
Oh, I just grew up on a farm. I'm a redneck, so that's how how I ended up knowing all this shit.
Yeah, I think it's Cali too, man. Like all those folks are either California or Florida. They're all out there because like, I mean, someone who's not into motocross where I'm from wouldn't know about. Might not even know who Travis Pastrana is. Definitely wouldn't know who, you know, Twitch is, or who maybe not even who Brian Deegan is, or who Travis Pastrana is. You know, like it's interesting. So that's cool that y'all would know that, just being like the layman fan. That's pretty cool.
It's been a while since I heard Deegan's name and Twitch's name like that, and I was like, wait, when you just kind of saying Twitch is doing vlogs, like I thought in my mind I remember Twitch not being with us anymore. So that's why I was like, oh, good, he's still around.
Dude, I got confused on that too. I think that other guy had the thing as well. Jeremy, the guy that died, Jeremy, I think it was No, it wasn't Feist. Somebody died, and I think he was either just friends with Twitch or he was. I think he was part of the metal militia, or he might have had that thing too. I'm not really sure, but I remember being confused about that as well.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one.
Even when I saw Twitch's vlog, I was like, wait a minute. It's the exact same thing you're thinking. I'm like, wait a minute. But nah, I guess it wasn't him. Maybe they were brothers. I don't know.
When you were growing up, what music were you listening to?
Rap.
Who were you listening to? Let's hear it. Whose CD did you have?
Dude,
was it CDs? You're a young cat.
Yeah, I had CDs. The first CD I ever had was fucking Tupac.
Nice.
I had two. It was like after he died. It was like one, like I think they call it Better Days. And yeah, my mom. I don't know. I was just I don't know. I can't say the word, but I was one of those guys. I was real into rap. Like,
yeah, that was your thing.
I'm a culture vulture. I vultured that culture, and now I'm vulturing another culture.
It makes a more well-rounded person.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, my mom, aside from that, my friend got me that, but my mom got me she knew I was into rap, and she just went to Walmart and told somebody to help her find rap CDs. And she got me, this is a little bit later, she got me, it was Ludacris's Chicken and Beer.
Yeah.
That was CD number 2.
Little John's Crunk Juice.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And the Chingy album with the Right There.
Yeah. Right there.
So those are the first 3 CDs that like my family bought me.
Oh, that's cool though.
Yeah.
At least you have some hits
with you on the Chicken and Beer one. Chicken and Beer one was not too bad.
Chicken and Beer was fire.
Clown says, I remember Twitch hanging out with Cottonmouth King. Oh, Cottonmouth.
That was my group back in the day.
Nice.
That's a little before Bobby's time there.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm unfamiliar.
Oh, you need to.
I've heard
I actually partied with them one time. Around my birthday, like right around this time, they did a concert out here, and I was able to go backstage with them. Yeah, Cottonmouth King. That was pretty cool.
Let's go.
They're cool. Yeah.
All right, Bobby, what was your favorite cereal growing up? I'm hitting you with them hard questions.
Big Frosted Flakes guy.
Frosted Flakes.
What
cartoon? He said, "Oh, I got him. I got him. There we go." He said, "Fuck that question. I'm done."
did I do something? It might be my battery.
I just dropped you off real fast.
It just dropped. Yeah, you're good, man.
Okay. I wasn't crazy about cartoons. Oh yes, I was. Fairly Odd Parents.
Nice.
Jimmy Neutron.
Good one.
That's a little older, but yeah, that little area. Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents. What the fuck were the other ones?
A lot of the Nickelodeon
guy.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon guy. Cartoon. I was Nickelodeon as opposed to Cartoon Network or Disney.
Nice.
I had a quick questions about your travels. What was the place that was most difficult to travel? Like because like language barriers or whatever other reason?
Definitely Livingston, Guatemala. The most recent one, for sure. Because I wasn't ready. Like the Amazon was all like kind of like I was ready for it and thought that's what I was getting into and like blah blah blah. But the most recent one to Livingston, Guatemala, was definitely rough as far as like sleep. Even just the itinerary that I made or that I ended up having. I think I overnight traveled like 4 out of the 9 nights I was there. Either that or it was 3 of the 9 nights, and then I didn't sleep one night because I was in the travel hut. I was in the hut. We didn't even get to the camping, but I was telling y'all about it earlier. There was no camping because it started raining, so I slept in like a fucking hut with like birds and scorpions and mosquito nets, and yeah, that was a rough thing. Livingston was rough for a lot of reasons because like it was like a budget travel thing and it was just so far, dude. Like so like if you take a plane to Guatemala City, I took a 7-hour bus from there to Rio Dulce, which is the river I was telling y'all about that drains into Guatemala. It drains into the Caribbean city. You take a boat from there to Livingston, which no cars get there. You take a boat there to that city, and then I stayed. I was actually a city farther than that. I stayed like so. You take a fucking tuk like a moto taxi to this bridge, the only bridge in town that no cars get over. So now you go to this last gas station and you walk over the fucking bridge, and it's only just like walking on the beach. Um, and I say that to say that there's barely anywhere to buy like food. There's no refrigerated food for sale like anywhere. There's no like I mean, there's like a hut store with like bags of water and like bags of powdered milk and like all that type of shit. But there's no like ground beef. There's no like maybe I could find like a whole chicken or like maybe they'll pluck it for me. Like I don't know. Like you're just like that type of far where you're just cooking eggs basically all day, or you're going to like these broke ass resorts that it's not a popular town, you know, and like so you that's where you go to the restaurant because there's no restaurants. So like you go to the hotel where they want $15 for a hamburger when that's like a day's, you know, like that could be like a day worth of food, you know. And so you're comparing that to like not eat only eating fucking bread and eggs, you know. It's even hard to find bread at this point. um and you know but it was like it's such a contrast because it was like one of the most beautiful places I've been. Like I got to the campsite and like the guy like took a machete and opened up a coconut and like I'm drinking. He's like, here you go, man. And I'm like drinking out of a coconut while he shows me the fucking hut. And like yeah, to be and it was like the backup hut where you go to the like for camping. So like if that's where you go cook, that's where you can go lay on the hammock. There's like a table in there. There's like a shitty bed and like a bathroom, you know. But that ended up being where I had to sleep because it was raining. Um, so like that was really really rough because like you, the bed was real shitty, and you get into like a mosquito net. I don't know if y'all know like a mosquito net that covers a bed is.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, this was the one where it didn't cover the whole full rectangle. It was just like a circle on top of you. So you got to get into this net that's like touching you at all times, and it's like dirty, and there's like a hole in it, and the bug gets in, it can't get out. It's got to go find that one little hole it just barely got in. So like now there's a bug there with me. That shit lasted for about 3 minutes. I got the fuck out of there, and I'm like, all right, well it hasn't rained yet, so I'm like, and we didn't set up the tent, but I got this little air mattress that I always carry with me just in case. Like it helps with the hotels and shit a lot. So I blow up this air mattress, and the camping spot's real nice. It's like a grass patch on like the only not destroyed with trash part of the beach, you know, like right on the Caribbean with like fucking this palm trees and like all this shit. So I'm just like laying out there on the air mattress, and then the fucking dogs come, and these are like skin and bone dog, like impoverished dogs, you know what I mean? Like, and they're just like growling. The
Jeez.
first one comes, and now there's three. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll like go inside. And then like you go inside and sleep on the hammock for a little bit. You only got that so much of that in you. And now that I'm outside of the net, I'm covered up all the way too. So I got like a full hoodie on and like the long fucking pant, like you know, sweatpants and like covering up my face and shit. And then eventually I got out of that and just like laid up on top of the fucking mat, the on top of the bed up there, you know, just like kind of on top of the mattress. Slept whatever I could, you know. And I've had, you know, I've slept, I've driven through the night wrestling or what the fuck ever, or party too much or whatever. But as far as like just traveling only, like that was definitely like the worst night. And like I wake up in the morning, and I shit you not, dude, like I go to grab the toilet paper, and like for the height of the toilet paper is an entire scorpion. Like it's the size of the toilet paper bowl. It's a scorpion, and I've already grabbed it. So I fucking throw it up in the air because I'm freaking out. And the scorpion, bro, it lands in the toilet. the scorpion lands in the toilet, and he doesn't give a fuck, bro. He just like turns left and goes down the drain. I guess wherever the
Oh,
fuck.
hell no.
He's like, I don't care. I'm just going down the drain. I'm out.
He's like, peace.
I'll be back. Yeah. Then I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, bro.
How much a percentage of these trips are survival and not entertainment and enjoyment?
It's entertaining afterwards.
I know, right? It seems like that's part of the fun is like you're trying to figure out ways to survive out here, but man.
Yeah, it's part of it for sure. Part of the fun is figuring out how to survive. But yeah, it was interesting. You gotta just go find that. You gotta go find that shit, you know. That was just not it. That was a picture of a tent on Airbnb.
Jeez.
Turned into that.
Yeah, Great One said we do have scorpions here in Vegas. Yeah, we've come across a couple, dude. If you're in an area where they're doing construction, you're just gonna get scorpions all in your backyard and shit.
Oh, I believe it. And that was the thing too. Like I just didn't have that guard. Like that, you go to the Amazon and it's like, okay, you cover your skin and you close your bag and you follow these kind of like little rules that you eventually get used to, and it's not that big of a deal, you know. But I kind of thought I was getting myself into like a hostile backpacker like type trip, and it's like, nah, you're spending a lot of money and it's rough, and you're like, I like doze off for half a second and my bag's halfway open, and that's like, you know, the scorpion incident. Oh man, I just gotta get out of here. You know, like I'm not in the right mental space. That was the same. That was where the drug dealer was fucking with me. You know, I was just like, it was just a desperate place, man. It sucks to say, like, it's hard to get, and I can see why stuff might be expensive because fuck, like I said, like how hard I had to work to get there. You know, I had to, and for them to get a truck full of, you know, hamburger buns, you know, I can imagine can be costly. I seen the on the river hostel, I seen the beer boat pull up, just like how the Cisco truck pulls up at the restaurant.
Yeah,
like the fucking beer truck pulls up, and it's this beer called Gallo, which means rooster, and it's like got a picture of a rooster on it, and it's just like you see outside of a restaurant any day. It's like the fucking lady like, nah, I ordered this much, but this isn't fucking here. And like they're negotiating all the money, but it's just like floating in a river. The guy pulls up with the boat and his little fucking receipt. You know, it's just interesting how that made it all the way out there.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, Reed, you can actually definitely check out Bobby's adventures and vlogs on oh wait, I forgot the banner. Right here at Hostel Bob. Check it out. Yeah, like I said, I spent all like weekend watching them. Mostly today I was watching a bunch of them, but man, like those are some crazy things that you've gone through.
Dude, it's fun, man. It's a lot of fun. I'm glad I'm able to talk about it a little bit more. I really like to get on podcasts and let people know, because it's tough to just, you know, put yourself over, for lack of a better term, you know.
Well, you came on this
all day.
You came on this show too. We're definitely gonna, you know, this is all of you. This is, you know what I mean? Like, just to talk about just wrestling is kind of ignoring, because people want to know you. You know what I mean? So we kind of thought about it ahead of time, and we're like, we want to actually know the performer more than we want to know the character. You know what I mean? So this is you. So we want to make sure other fans know that you do this. Like, we just had one in here now. He's like, dude, I'm just now seeing this stuff. So yeah, look, Reed, he said he's just actually seeing the vlogs. So yeah, this is what it's about, man.
I said last week I got no wrestling questions. I want to hear all about their travels and all the crazy stories that I've seen on that YouTube page, man.
What's your next destination, bro?
Hawaii. I'm gonna do this GCW.
I mean, for the travel, are you gonna try to do it out there nice and cheap? Nah. If there's such a thing, yeah.
Nah, there's not gonna be that. I'm gonna spend my whole month.
That's gonna be enjoyment. That's gonna be enjoyment one. I'm afraid of like Jimmy Lloyd, Joey Janela coming back. Like, we're gonna like that show after Hawaii is gonna be missing some talent here.
Dude, we're just never coming back, bro.
We're missing teeth and talent. You already know some shit.
I mean, Joey already went there. Didn't he stop in Hawaii and like That's why he not didn't make a show, but like didn't he like stayed a couple extra days in Hawaii after that Japan trip?
I can't speculate, but
yeah.
But yeah, I'll do San Diego the day before too, and that could be. And there's also potential for Tijuana too, but I just know how fucking Hawaii can be and probably will be, and I want to have a good experience out there. So I'll probably just fly into San Diego and do the show then, and then rock out the next day to Hawaii. And yeah, I'm super excited about it though. That's just gonna be crazy.
That Hawaii show is gonna be nuts.
I will be looking forward to kind of chilling too. I kind of overdid it the past like month or so. Like I had an idea of going about it, and it was a little bit too like it was like a month full of basically shows where I like left myself time for work, you know. But then I fucked around and did work, and now I'm just like super fucking tired. But but we'll see, man. I'm gonna chill for the next month or so. Do San Diego and Hawaii. And then at the beginning of the year, I don't know. Like I'm still thinking about doing Thailand or like Southeast Asia or some shit.
Nice.
They had legal weed in Thailand, and I was really interested in trying that out. But I heard they're gonna get rid of that real soon. So we'll see what the fuck happens with that. I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably do something at the beginning of the year and then chill till Mania.
Reed,
you got to come out here during Mania, man. It's Vegas. It's gonna be in our backyard. We can take you some of the cheap places out here. I'll take you some of the cheap places out here.
No, seriously, talk to me as it comes closer.
Yeah,
when it comes close to April, right, man?
For sure, we'll definitely line something up. And the more I think about it, yeah, we'll definitely do some shit in Vegas for sure.
Well, I'm just saying, worst case scenario. I mean, if you can even take a couch, talk to me. Because then I'll just save your money on that end if it's not better than what you're being offered.
Dude, fuck yeah.
Yes, let me know. I'll talk to you about it further. I wanted to just put in here, Super Hentai said, I want to see you versus Super Dragon.
Dude, be crazy, bro.
Holy shit.
Crazy.
Show and tell. Let's do some show and tell, Bobby. Do you have something over there you'd like to show the listeners that kind of cool?
Oh, yeah. Check this guy out. She's for sale.
Oh.
No. It's
Bobby
like
wants DMs.
It's like a dirt bike motorcycle or a bicycle dirt bike type deal. It's got a cool story.
Let's hear it.
It's faster than hell, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It'll damn knock your whiskers off. But no, it's I was like selling this dirt bike on Craigslist that I couldn't figure out how to work because I'm retarded, because I'm an idiot. And so somebody hit me up and was like, dude, I got this bicycle with basically a leaf blower motor on it.
Is that plug-in or gas?
Dude, no, it's gas. It's 2-stroke gas. It's like weed eater gas, like leaf blower gas.
How many miles can you get on it total on a tank?
Oh, dude, like 1 million, bro. It'll go forever, brother.
Yeah.
It'll go forever. It'll get you from here to California if you bring a tent, But no, it's pretty cool. It's it's a toy I don't need. I'm gonna hurt myself on it. But yeah, I've taken it. I did an entrance at New South with it before. I've done the entrance with that, like I did the dirt bike. It was pretty cool. I got this hat from Guatemala. That's show and tell.
That's what I was looking at. Oh, I love the color on it.
Yeah, thanks. It's a fucking colorful place for sure.
What's up, Dominic?
Would you rather have a personal chef or a personal trainer?
Oh, a chef for sure. Working out's easy. Sure. Yeah, working.
Dude, I was gonna say you look like you know what you're doing on working out.
Nah, I would look better if I had a fucking personal chef, dude.
And favorite movie genre? What do you like to watch? Or what are you binging right now on Netflix or YouTube?
Oh, dude, it's like always travel vlogs for sure. Supercross season just ended, so that's over. But I'll catch up on my favorite travel vlogs and podcasts and shit like that. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Over on YouTube, have you ever watched that guy called Go 4x4? He's got a Jeep. and he'll just go out camping.
Uh-uh.
Okay, this is fucking so this is an Australian guy. He actually does it right. Like you can actually see him go out with good gear. He'll set his Jeep up. He's got the whole thing. And he'll just go to these nice ass places. And it's more like you put it on for calm. Like you'll just hear the rain fall and he's just sitting under the tent, just having some food and shit. And I'm like, that's what's up. So yeah, go 4x4. It's 4x4. If
That's
you got
badass.
a chance, check him out. Dude, I put him on sometimes just to chill out. I hear rain the whole time and I look up and he's chilling with his dog, grilling some food and shit. I'm like, it's kind of chill. So if you haven't seen him, that's another one. I think he's kind of cool.
It's badass that it's mixed with the rain like that. You said it because one of my favorites, because I do the background noise when I go to sleep. But when I'm like about to go to sleep, I'll do like background noise mixed with like walking around my village. So it's like a dude in a fucking umbrella. Like in like Indonesia or like some shit, just fucking
Rambalac,
like
guy named Rambalac. He does it in Japan.
Yeah,
I love a lot of these.
That's badass.
I love watching those fucking things. What's your worst shoot job? Oh, I don't want to jump on you there. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's one in Spanish that is one of my favorites. So it'd be tough for y'all to watch, but yeah, I don't know if y'all speak Spanish, but it fucking he's on a motorcycle, like a moped basically. It's called Proyecto Alaska. It's called Project Alaska, going from Argentina to Alaska, and he's in Tijuana right now, and it's like a 90cc fucking like moped type deal.
That's balls. That's complete fucking balls. Okay, so first of all, if he made it through Mexico into that area and he's okay, he's got all the way to Alaska. He'll be good.
Oh, as far as that's concerned, yeah, for sure. He made it. Yeah, he's good.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I like to watch those guys in like tiny truck, like campers going out and like fucking trying to make it to the Alaskan Circle or the Arctic Circle and shit.
Oh, like the Deadly Roads, dude.
Oh, yeah. Love them. We got sidetracked there. Okay, so let's ask my famous question here. Do you have any ghost stories or something that's weird that's happened to you that you want to share with everyone?
So my grandparents' house, this is gonna sound crazy and fucked up. My grandparents' house used to be like a slave quarter. Like across the street was like this really nice, like white column house.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandma's house was like kind of run down, and they supposedly had a ghost, but what they also had was a graveyard full of former members of that house, and there was like only one like headstone, and like the rest of them was like rocks and like little weird formations and like blah blah blah. So naturally, me and my friends would camp out there and get drunk in high school. Yeah, supposedly there would be some crazy shit going on back there. Yeah, but that's what we would do, is just kind of party out there and get drunk. There was supposedly my grandma and other people would talk about, there's like a lady who was like the top lady in the house, and she supposedly would be seen and like would open the barn door and like shit like that, I'm trying to think of anything too direct. I would say that I do believe in it or whatever, but I'm trying to think of anything super direct that I remember. Nothing too crazy. We were just half drunk though most of the time.
You're just trying to go out there and just get the feeling of the place. You're like, if we see something, bonus.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Any excuse to just go fucking drink back then.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Do you consider yourself on time, early, or late?
I'm early.
You're an early person.
Yeah.
In your travels, have you fallen in love with any area of the country or the world that you could see yourself living there?
I'm always like weighing the pros and cons. I think there's something someday. I just think that when I'm older, I need to be a place that's warmer and that I can just like throw a seed in the ground and it'll grow pretty easily. You know?
Good. Yep,
Um,
I do.
Peru calls to me pretty heavily. Guatemala used to before this fucking last trip. Um, Peru calls to me pretty heavily, and just because of its closeness to the Amazon and how many times I've been there, and how much I'm starting to make friendships and stuff. Uh, it depends if you look at it through a lens of wrestling. Chile is a place for sure, um, because there's not a lot of money, but there is like that's just a way that I can be making money is kind of Chile. You can wrestle 2 or 3 times a week out there, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, more so Peru for right now. I'm always thinking about, dude. I stayed in a fucking Airbnb in the Amazon, like it was like a half hotel, half Airbnb resort. Like there was a common kitchen and a common bathroom, but private room. You know, and he was trying to sell me that shit for like $5,000, bro. Like just the whole fucking thing. You know, so
Ooh,
there's all kinds of
that's nice.
and he's like, yeah, they're selling this rainforest over there for like 1,000. You know, so there's that type of stuff that really is out there. So I'm always weighing the pros and cons and listening. But I had a guy who, the same guy I went to Costa Rica with. He was supposed to buy, um, more like inherit, but like buy at a great price, some land in Costa Rica. And turns out that once the lawyers came, that place owed a bunch of money and blah 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 blah. So you never know what you got going on. I guess in Costa Rica, it's more likely for that to happen because there is a government. You know what I mean? I mean, there is a government in Peru, but
When people are poorer, they get creative, you know?
yeah, yeah, for sure.
I don't have a better way to put that. It's just creativity breeds in that area. You know, you're just trying to get your money wherever you
Yeah,
can.
no doubt.
What would be your next choice of language? I know you've got the Spanish down pretty freaking good. Do you have another one you're thinking about? Like maybe a dialect in Spanish?
It, it'll just depend what's useful.
Yeah.
I was dabbling in Portuguese because I thought I was going to go to Brazil. Um, uh,
Are you against
I'll
it
have to
now?
see. I'll have to see what Southeast Asia is like in like those parts of the world because like I think there's more English than I like to than I like to think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, Spanish is just my fucking comfort zone because I can talk my way out of trouble and blah blah blah. So that'll be a big like thing for me is going somewhere where I can't speak the language. You know, um,
Wow.
it'll be it'll be harder to talk my way out of trouble. But probably in like probably in somewhere like Asia, it's like fuck. There's so many countries and like maybe dabble a little bit before you go somewhere. There's just so many places that most of them probably do speak a good amount of English that like the amount of time and effort I put into Spanish might not make so much sense for fucking Malaysia or whatever.
Right. Right.
So we'll see.
That's phenomenal, man. I love the fact that you're just like, well, I'll just go here. And to somebody like me, that's like, I have to put that much thought into going McDonald's down the road.
I couldn't do any of the
Yeah.
traveling just because I'm afraid of all those language barriers. Like I
I'm
couldn't.
a nervous
That's
motherfucker.
I'm like living
Yeah.
through vicariously in all these places. Like it's so cool to see. Like because I know I'll never be able to go there or have the balls to try to survive a day out there.
No, but you're exactly right. Like I'm going through the same thing. Like I'm nervous about the fucking language barrier that I'm going to be presented
Yeah.
with soon. Yeah.
So this maybe is in the same vein, but if there's a skill or a craft you want to master, is there something out there you've been looking at to try to do? I just didn't know if you've been working on survival skills or maybe if you've just been working on learning about more camping equipment or you know what I mean?
Definitely like camping type shit. I want to be able to broaden my horizon in that way. I want to learn more about like just little building type shit as well. Kind of like how I was saying, like how when you volunteer, there's no pressure. Like I want to learn like pressure free, like a little building type stuff because when you go to other countries, homes and stuff, they just seem more simple, and like able to do like something that's not so crazy to like do and build, like so stuff like that. Just little life skills, little by little. I don't have too much pressure on myself. I'm still like trying to have fun and all that shit, but I want to take on some stuff like that to
Just trying to survive too.
survive. Yeah, to have later in life.
Well, I only have one more question here, and that's what would the young you thinks the coolest thing about the old you right now?
Nah, I think you'd be pretty stoked for sure. Um, yeah, I think that just that I kept getting after it. There's like a gift and a curse of how I was doing like motocross at a young age. I think
Mm-hmm.
uh, there's just I got that in me, that adrenaline junkie type shit. Um, and there was a part of my life where I would fill the void with just like drinking and partying and shit. So I think that the young me would be pretty happy with where we got it to and how we're still having fun and not giving a fuck, but kind of being at least halfway productive and not fucking other people's lives up and shit.
Also add international traveler,
Yes.
international wrestler, known
Yes.
internationally for your work and your efforts. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're across several forms of media right now. I mean, that's pretty damn good, and that's all effort that you've put in. So hopefully everything that you're looking forward to comes back to you 100% bro.
Yeah, thanks, man. Don't get me wrong. I got a lot of help. Like I got a place that I can lay my head, basically,
Yeah,
unless I become a piece of shit,
yeah,
and like I'm just trying real hard to like make the most out of that because don't everybody got that opportunity. And I completely understand if your life isn't like mine. Like I understand that fucking yeah, it's because like I'm just super duper blessed and super fortunate.
that's what's fucking up, man. Okay, so this is the last part I always like to do, Bobby. Um, this is the time where you get to talk. There's 615 on with this right now, man. They just came on to listen to you tonight. So what are we looking at? 1:30, almost 1:30 in the morning on the East Coast on a work night. So thank you
Yeah.
everyone for that.
Yes, thank
I
you.
just wanted to give you the floor for a minute, Bobby. And if you wanted to say anything to everyone, now is your opportunity to give thanks or to just put some words out there, because I know you rarely get a microphone in your hand, and tonight you're talking to a room full of fans. So it's all yours, buddy. Whatever you'd like to say.
Damn, bro, 650 is crazy. No, man, I'm just super super happy, man. Super ready to keep figuring out what the next fucking thing is. My big project in life right now is fucking probably YouTube. Like I got I got momentum in wrestling, but like I really want to grow the Hostile Bob YouTube. I really think that that's something that 20 years from now I'll have longevity in. I might not be doing all the right things as far as like algorithm, and it could be a bit of a boring show, but I really want to fucking give the people that are with me now the same kind of always evolve, but I want to give the people that are with me now the same product and like not change up too much, you know what I mean? So I really want to show you the authentic shit that somebody who like could save up a little money and buy a ticket, like I want to present that experience to you and what could really happen to you if you just buy a ticket, get a hotel, and fucking walk around a crazy city in Guatemala or Peru or Chile or something like that. Uh, yeah, it's a bit of a passion project of mine. So definitely trying to grow that. And yeah, fucking I don't know, doing game changer wrestling, action wrestling, WWA 4. I'm not, I'm at a point right now to where like I'll wrestle GCW in action, and then whoever the fuck is trying to work, you know what I mean? Because aside from that, I'll go to the Mexican restaurant and make enough. I'll buy a Guatemala ticket in 2 days. So
Yeah.
my motivations are a little bit all over the place and weird, and not something that I can guarantee if you emulated there'd be any success, but I don't know. We're just having fun, man. And I appreciate it's so crazy that you got me in here talking to fucking 650 people. So, dude, thanks, man. I do have a Patreon page as well. That's definitely like the best way to like support my shit. It's also Hostile Bob on Patreon. Uh, that's where I put like the one thing I can guarantee on there is like the early releases of my vlogs, because they're a bit behind with the editing and shit like that. But the newer ones will be on the Patreon, so you can figure out like if you see me on Instagram story, like Patreon is where you can find the vlog from like that fucking weekend. Otherwise, they're being posted up on YouTube, and just like little ideas that I have. I got way too many pictures to post anywhere else, so I put them all on Patreon.
Nice.
Little short rants or vlogs or just little bullshit, that I might not want to disrupt my regular YouTube algorithm with. So I put feelers out. Just other little new projects we got going. So yeah, again, this is crazy that y'all brought me on here, bro. I appreciate it.
No, thank you, man. It's like I said, I could hear we definitely are going to bring you on for like a travel only episode because seeing all the stuff that you do on YouTube has been awesome, and also everything with you've done in GCW has been awesome to see too. But I know you saying that YouTube is the project is kind of like your passion right now. Like I said, I think that's so cool. That I was wondering, I had a question in here, like where can we see like pictures and stuff? I'm not too good on Instagram and stuff, but now yeah, I know to go check out Patreon for those behind the scenes pictures, because I think like how Perch takes a bunch of pictures and posts them there. I think you got a cool little outlet as well with the YouTube and Instagram to post all your pictures and stories and stuff, and that's good to know now as a fan to where I can find those.
Definitely, man.
We did it.
Right. We did it.
We fucking did it. We lived.
Yes, I will put it one last time at the bottom right there, everyone. YouTube.com @HostileBob for the incredible vlogs that he's been doing.
And I'll close it out here with Clown. This has been an amazing interview. Absolutely fascinating stories. I knew it. Brant knew it. We're like, he's going to come on here and he's going to really knock it out. So the real tight spot. Yeah, one of our list. Hope you all been well. Sorry I missed the show. Just woke up. You know how it is. It'll be on YouTube and everywhere else. I recommend YouTube just because it's the easiest to like navigate. If you try to go directly through Twitter, like right now, it's like one straight show. It's difficult to watch. So thank you so much to everyone.
Dude, thank y'all for coming out. That's
right.
great.
Stick with us for a second. We're going to close the show and I'll say goodbye to you, behind the scenes kind of thing. So everybody, thank you for checking in. Reed, Clown, Hentai, Facade was in here tonight. Dominic Bax was in here. Oh my gosh, there's so many names. Wrestle Dads was in here.
Great one.
My goodness. Yeah, there's so much chat that went on while we were talking. It's hard to, well, anyway, thank you so much. Like I said, now we're looking at 600 and thank you so much. There's numbers still going up. Everybody knows, jump over to YouTube. If you get a chance, like our page over there, at least like this video, give us some love. There was a guy in here that was rambling on about WWE while we were trying to talk and gave us a mad face because we weren't talking about WWE. Facade, we love you. I'll contact you here sometime soon. You're just another one that once we work through the regulars, definitely want to talk to you, dude. So yeah, Reed Harris says peace, night to Tide Spot over there, and you just woke up. I'm going to fucking sleep. All right, so yeah, Insomniacs, thank you so much. We appreciate everything. Bobby, you're the fucking man. We love you so much. So yeah, this isn't WWE. Yeah,
right. Also as well, I know before we always forget, I guess we should support and
oh yeah,
shout out,
give us money.
If you want to support us, you can chat us out at slamchats.com at the bottom. Check that out if you want to support us. But Bobby, Reed, everybody, Facade, Tight Spot, everybody, thank you guys so much. Yes, that was a very fun time, and I can't wait to speak to you again, Bobby. Thank you again so much. I gotta
we're
get one
doing
last
this
time.
again.
Hey, there we go.
Hey.
All right, bud. Let's close this out, and we'll say goodbye to Bobby on the other side of the world here.
All right.
Long.
How about this? It's gonna be a long.
I've got a delay.
Long.
Fuck this mother. Long. Live.
Oh,
I beat you.
G
C
C W.
W. Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.